Yes, guys, episode 22 of the Ressies podcast. We're back in the Producer Studios where we should be. 2024, first ep in here. Got J-Man and I've got Checkers. How are we, boys?
Good. And we have another guest that's not on camera at the moment.
I want to call him a guest.
There's been a lot of questions lately on the pod. We recorded 3 pods before Christmas, and every time we put out one of those stickers on the Instagram saying, send us your questions for the podcast, 97.6% of them came back with, where is Schraderade?
Yes, and legend has it he's still shadow batting at the MCG.
Or in front of the oven.
Standing in front of one of the, standing up on top of one of the seats.
Past that.
But no, he's here. We've got Producer Srey.
Yeah.
He's taken on a new role in 2024. The people have been asking, where is Srey?
Yep.
Where has he been? We put up a sticker for this episode asking for content questions, and they've said, where the fuck is Srey?
And for about a month and a half, you've been doing an internship with Dill. He's been showing you the ropes
so I've
a
been
bit.
producing. I actually got sent to the Bahamas for a little bit, so that was a tough slog, but we're back, baby.
So what's the role in 2024? There's a new role. You're not on the desk. You're
No,
on
I'm
a
on
new
the
desk. You got
desk.
your own
I
desk.
got my own desk. It's a bit bland at the moment. Just wait, I'm decorated a little bit, but I'm Producer Srey now.
He started as a cameraman, Srey. That's how he first
Oh, that's a
initiated into
throwback.
content.
That's a throwback.
Then he became couldn't kick a goal, Srey.
Oh.
Then he became could kick a goal, Srey. And now he's Producer Srey.
Okay, I think we need a bootleg T-shirt of Producer Srey now.
I think we'll hit it up the Carlton draft.
We've got the
We'll get
cameraman
it.
Srey t-shirt, but
We need one with like
Srey.
headphones.
Yeah.
Can I hold a big camera? You know those big cameras
there's
I've got?
Well, there's no
Like a
camera on him at the
bazooka.
moment, but there's,
No.
where's the headphone, Srey? What are you going to get in your desk? So far, it's just a microphone.
I got the microphone.
And your water bottle. That's
got my water bottle.
massive.
I don't know. I feel like there should be like a paperweight, like a Rubik's Cube or something. I feel like that's important.
Have you ever
And
solved a Rubik's Cube?
No.
It could be a challenge for 24. We are talking about some things we want to do in 2024 today.
That could
so
be a
that could
challenge.
be one
Could
for
be.
the Producer Srey
And
table.
maybe like a mug. The world's greatest producer or something like that.
There's going to be some...
spelled upside down and it's
Yeah.
handwritten
There's
by
gonna be
Srey.
some hot, you might want to leave that around in the office. A few of the other show's producers might try to have a coffee out of it or something.
No chance. I'll sign it.
Maybe
Srey
you can get
18.
like a world's worst producer mark and give it to like Dylan Friends. Or, like,
I'll give it a Sammy
Hey
B.
guys, I don't have anything to do with any of that.
Willie's trying to
Throw us
save
under
his
the bus
job.
there.
I don't want to get fired just yet.
so Shrey's got the new role, Producer Srey. You can expect him behind the mic a little bit. He's not on the desk, but he's going to be doing lots of behind the scenes work and making sure that that Will's camera is always looking at him because you want to see his beautiful face.
Making sure he's in the middle of the camera.
Yeah.
making
J-Man's
sure-
joining us today.
Yep.
He's on.
What did you do to bring in the new year, my friend?
I took a little bit of time off from you lot mostly.
Yeah, I haven't seen you for
Look,
3
that's
weeks. That's
fair
why we're
enough.
here on the
Yeah.
pod, just because
I
I
don't think
missed
it was
you.
that long.
That's
It was a
completely
while. It was a
I
while.
haven't seen him for 3 weeks.
Yeah,
I know
good
he was
point.
sleeping in my bed for 3 weeks. So
That's a very good point,
it's
yes.
because I haven't been home.
I did
Legend.
ditch, and I do want to apologise. I did ditch. Will invited me to a box at the cricket.
Yeah.
For
A
day
boxy
4.
or a box?
A box, not a boxy.
We'll get to the boxies. We'll get to the boxies.
A box at the G for the Boxing Day test, and I ditched him to go and head up with my family and some mates to Echuca for the new year. So
Are we
You
first
know
to say
what?
that was really poor form.
If it's for Stu
Not
Balls,
planned.
which is
yeah,
his dad,
yeah, it was all for dad.
that's fair enough.
Can we also just mention the day before the corporate box, so day 4 was corporate box, day
Yeah.
3, this podcast, a heavy topic for 2023 was, can we get girls to come on dates with us to the cricket?
Oh,
We started the Sheffield Shield, and
Jarra's
Jarra's
upped
brought
it.
one to the test. He's gone for an international game.
Not any old date, a first date. I was
Yeah.
like, Jarra's gone to the
Yes.
toilet at one point, and just to make a bit of small talk and make it not as uncomfortable, I was like, oh, so how long have you and Jarra been catching up? Like, how long have you known him? She goes, oh, I met him last Friday. He came into my work for a coffee.
Can you
Was
tell
like
us
on
the
the Tuesday.
backstory about said woman?
I don't want to speak about it too much, but
They've broken up already.
maybe call her like a lovely lady or something. Woman sounds like you're
But
like really
no,
stern.
No, she is. She was awesome. And Checkers is right. When I did go and grab myself a sausage roll and a can of Diet Coke, Checkers had spoken to
Don't look
her
like it.
pretty much more than I had. Like in my entire existence of knowing this woman, Checkers spoke to her for about 20 minutes, and at that point, I'd spoken to her for about 6. It was very
And then
fresh.
she ran.
So the first day went
it.
well, I see.
No, it was great. I thought it was a good first
She was
day.
a nice lady.
Yeah,
I
she was
recommend
great.
you bring her to the cricket again.
I hope she
was,
listens.
She was very lovely.
Willie, what did you get up to over New Year's? I know you went back to G-Town.
Yeah, well, with
Lambies?
I did hit up Lambies.
He told
I
me.
did hit up
He told
Lambies.
me.
New Year's Day, which was about 1 a.m, I hit up Lammy's. I just had to come in, really kick off the new year in the right gear. Spend time in Geelong with my family.
I don't actually know you went to Lambie's. I'm just I just put it out there as a bit of a question.
Oh,
But
yeah.
you actually
Went there,
did.
Yeah, I went to Lammy's, had a few beers. Keg was dry after I drank from it. But I went back to Geelong, saw family, and then I came up to Adelaide to catch up with you. So
You went to BTV as well.
I didn't go to BTV, but I was
You drove up to the gate.
I was chauffeur for the Dill and Jamo, the podcasters from Perth.
They said you
unreal blokes.
You couldn't go in because you drink the bar dry, man.
Yeah, like the Red Bulls and the Red Bull vodkas, and they're like, no. Your face is on the wanted list for drinking all the kegs. And I said, boys, you know what? Fair enough. Take me away. Guys, drink responsibly, please. Joel, you obviously went back to Adelaide.
I was also on another wanted list, not at BTV. No, we went back to Adelaide. I went to the...
Jeez. Whoa.
Let's skip
For
past
what?
that one.
What do you
I don't know if I want to bring it up on the pod because I still got to get to the test
let's
match
let it
next
simmer.
week.
Let's let it simmer.
yeah.
Nah,
True.
fuck it. Didn't almost get let into Adelaide Oval.
Yes.
Oh,
okay.
wow.
The beef's begun again. They were not fans of me this time last year after drinking milk on the hill, and I think after drinking out of the penis protector at the Boxing Day test.
Look, it's
Sorry, I really want Nick Butler. I miss him, all right? That's why I've been emulating on this pod already.
it's a bit of a shame that the Adelaide Oval has cracked down on you.
I'm a wanted man now. I feel like I had this idea for a skit, and I mean, we're going to talk about content later, but it was going to be me drinking out of the box at the Boxing Day test, and then me trying to live a regular life, but everyone not wanting me around. So, like, maybe I go to the shops and the nightclub. The security at the door says, you're not allowed in here. We don't like your type around here. And then I go to the cricket and they say, we don't like your type around here. And that's just how it feels. It was a fun moment for about 12 minutes in Bay 13. And then ever since, no one's wanted to be around me.
Even Jarra left you.
The newspaper's writing articles about me, calling me a yucky individual.
I
And
did say that.
Oh man, some of those comments on news.com.
yeah, I haven't read
Is
through all of them,
some
but
of
there was a few 40-year-old degenerates.
funniest
Real
Just,
bad
things
ones, yeah.
I've ever seen in my life.
They were bad. I think that's some of the worst we've copped.
well, I
There
think I'm now a wanted man at most venues around Australia just for that 15 minutes of fame we had. But yeah, I went to the Big Bash twice and got met with a bit of extra security presence
Yeah.
around me, which makes things interesting. I'm going to have to maybe buy a few gift baskets and flowers and bottles of wine and make up to a lot of security guards around the country. But maybe we'll start with MCG. Maybe I'll go back and say, hey, thanks for not kicking me out, but maybe you should have.
Well, I feel like the MCG's welcomed you in with open arms, like Melbourne has done to both you and Srey.
Yes.
But what on earth is Adelaide Oval doing?
I don't know. We'll go. I mean, I want to go back for the test match next week, but I'm hearing rumours we're not really welcome at Test cricket anymore. But that's something we discuss later. There's something I want to bring up later about Test cricket. So we went back to Adelaide. You came across with me, Willie, just after New Year's. You came and visited me. We stayed in Adelaide's worst hotel, motel,
Jeez, man.
Holiday Inn.
That was an experience, Jarra. That was a real experience.
I saw the videos.
Shrey, have you ever been there? Cosmos?
I've never heard of it.
Man, we live in
21
Adelaide. If
years
you
in
live in
Adelaide.
Geelong, have you ever stayed in many hotels in Geelong?
Oh, you make
Only time I've ever stayed-
We have a house. Shit.
only time I've ever stayed in a hotel in Adelaide is when I've come back from Melbourne. Why would I just go to a hotel in the city of Adelaide?
I
Yeah.
don't know. A lucky lady back in the day might have.
I didn't have it like
Take
that.
it
back in the day.
I bumped into a lady in the lift on one of the days. You weren't there with me, Will, but she said, I have won one of those staycation vouchers from the government. They were handing out during COVID period, and they're still sort of ticking around where they give you a bit of money to spend in your own state. And she goes, and it was for this hotel. So the government gave her a free trip at the hotel laced with bed bugs, vomit on the carpet, poo in the toilet, blood in the shower.
We never actually like exposed the bedbug situation.
No, that
at
wasn't
all.
in the video that we made, but Will was covered head to toe in these bites after the first day. He slept shirtless.
I'm not sure we can show. It's
still-
pretty.
yeah,
pretty
we,
vulgar.
pretty grim.
But
It's
it's
still
bad.
some
He got
there.
his rig out in a photo yesterday on Marmalade, and it
Yeah.
was an interesting move. But I think are you turning into the rig out guy in 2024?
No.
It
I
looked
don't
good in that
mind
photo,
it.
by the way, Willie. Looked nice.
Thank
You
you,
did
Shrey.
actually,
Thank
yeah.
I
you,
don't
Shrey.
mind the rig out, especially during pre-season.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, when we were doing a
Maybe not to show little bites all over your body.
that I made sure I didn't show. for context, we were doing a bit of pre-season in the rain, kicking the footy around, doing a bit of running. I was doing a bit of leading with our good friend Bailey McCabe, $1 Million. And I got really hot because my t-shirt...
It was really humid. It was raining and it was hot.
My t-shirt just was like so heavy and I'm running back and forth and I thought, stuff this, get the rig out. And then we were getting a photo at the end and I thought, shit, I've got all these like... It looked like paintball, taking so many paintball.
It looked like an
chest.
acupuncture to the chest.
You ever seen those things that are like heaps of nails on a bed and people lay down
exactly
on them for
right.
a stunt?
Yeah.
It looked like he'd laid down on one of them, but the wrong way up.
Yeah, I lied down face first. So I used a footy to cover it up, and yeah.
Yeah, well, we stayed at the West Motel. It was a bit of an experience. We played for the Barossa Crushers in the Adelaide Premier League.
Yes.
I played. Maybe the APL was upset with us for drinking out of the penis protectors. Got on the field.
We got
the phone call. Get Checkers off the field. He's not welcome out there. So,
which was sad because I was watching. I was on the YouTube live stream along with 3 other people, and I watched on KO Freebies.
Yes,
And
I
didn't
couldn't
see
find
any
it
of
on the
you.
KO freebies. It was very difficult to find.
yeah.
And I was standing at short fine leg, just trying to enjoy myself, and so was Checkers, and they said, "Bloody get him off, he's."
I'm not welcome anywhere. I don't even know if I had to go to Woolworths after this, but...
Do you have to say sorry to people? Like, what's...
Nah, fuck, I'm just going to do more boxies. I brought a little show and tell in because we did go back to LA, play for the Barossa Crushers. If you haven't heard already, there's a podcast up. It wasn't recorded in Producer. It was recorded at Karen Rolton Oval in a 55-degree hot box room. But we recorded with Mark Cosgrove, who is one of
Legend.
our favourite cricketers of all time. He played in the Div 12 Ressies game. Go back after this potty. Go listen to it. It's a good chat. Pretty quick chat. We only went for about 25 minutes, so he's pretty cruisy listening. Not like listening to Jarra Davis for 4.5 hours, but
On the
broad
vlogs.
show and tell in for those watching the YouTube
Yes.
coverage. We've got a Mark Cosgrove
Olympics.
match worn Sheffield Shield shirt.
We big Sheffield Shield now.
Just quickly, boys, did you ask him what the reason was behind the 99-year-old?
No.
Well, he
Wow.
started his career in the 15, and that's when he was playing for
Okay.
Australia. Checkers has put his shirt on his face. Hey man, I know where that's been. You just need to put it down now, please.
Oh, jeez.
Fun story. Fun story for everyone. All right. So Cozzy's got some shirts in his hands, and he's about to give them to us. And he's like got 3 shirts, one for Will, one for me, one for Jim. And Will goes, "Oh, I really, really want a Mark Cosgrove shirt. I'll wear it everywhere. I'll wear it to music festivals. I'll wear it to people's weddings. I'll even wear it to a funeral."
I was just a little bit too
He was
excited.
very fished up. Mark said, "I'm okay with the first 2, maybe just don't wear it to a funeral. That'd be bad PR for me."
I was just a little bit too excited, and rightly so, because I got his first ever T20 top for the SA Redbacks, and it was when they had nicknames on the back instead of your last name.
Yes.
So it has Cozzy number 15, and yeah, I got a bit of a stiff.
He was very stiff.
Massive
Oh,
stiffy.
jeez.
Not even like just fielding balls in the outfield. He was stiff in the pants region too.
Yeah.
That's not good.
We have had our first Jethro's of the year. Don't need to touch on that too much, but we did go down to Jethro's canteen and have our
Coffee was
first
good.
iced coffee and toasty.
We unfortunately weren't the first people there.
No, Bailey McCabe beat us there. I was stuck in Adelaide.
He camped out as well.
Actually did.
Yeah,
It was
camped out
5
10
a.m.
minutes beforehand.
We were awake because the bed bugs were biting and we couldn't
Yeah.
get any sleep. And we were getting videos from Bailey camping out the front of Jethro's, waiting for them to rock up and open up.
And he made a whole TikTok of it and just enjoyed himself.
How could he do that? But then when we asked him to come over to hang out, he's 4 hours late. Like,
It's
what's
been called out in the pod. It's
what's
been
going
called
on
out.
there?
Bailey McCabe, you've been called out by Producer Srey, man.
And
I'm asking
then,
the question.
That's a
Jarra,
good question to ask.
you have started a new content series in 2024 that we have seen early on, and I don't know if it's going to last 365 days of the year. Will it last?
No, because this is not part of the Resi brand. It's
Producer Srey, will it last 365 days?
I know this man. He's a determined man. I think he gets it done for my liking.
Jarra, you think you're going to run every single day of 2024?
It's it's a long shot, but I'll give it a crack. But I guess the reason behind it, I mean, you could always say like, "Oh, new year, new me."
Oh,
money.
Please
is the
don't
reason
say
that.
behind it.
You could always say that, but the real reason is
Money.
Come on, man.
we'll
get
put
it
that
out.
one
Get
aside.
it
We'll put
out.
that one
Jesus.
aside.
if this is the pace you're running at, I'm not watching the content.
But the real reason is, I was scrolling Instagram the other day, And like high school cross country, I used to do alright. I used to be an alright runner. But this one kid, Tom, used to beat me every single week. Oh, not every single year, right? And I saw a photo of him that he posted, and he was getting chunky. At the beach, he's getting
people
chunky.
say that about us.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is way worse.
You know those 3 chunky TikTokers?
Yeah.
that kick torps and...
Those guys that blew out just after year 12 finished. Do you remember them? Yeah.
That's this kid.
They now drink out of penis protectors. Yeah.
This guy used to be so fit, and now he's getting a little bit fat, and I was like, this is my revenge. So on the 365th day, I'm going to challenge him to a cross-country race, 5 kilometres, and I'm going to beat him. And I'm going to get my revenge 8 years later.
So
I reckon Jarra's gone on Instagram and seen a lovely lady he likes to look of and thinks she's very, very attractive. I better get in some shape.
I also do want to go to run clubs because there's very pretty women at the run clubs.
So what's the plan with the running series? What do you got planned coming up? You've been doing some weird ones. You've been doing some weird challenges and stuff.
Like
is there anything big in the pipelines with it?
Well, every 10-day milestone will run that many kilometres. So, and we'll see how long that lasts.
10-day milestone. So what does that mean? At 10 days, you're going to run 10 kilometres?
10 days, 10 kilometres,
You're
20 days,
300
20
kilometres in one day on 300 days.
I didn't say we were going to last the whole year.
Whoa.
Okay.
When is that going to stop? At the 20-day mark? Or?
I reckon I could get to 40. I reckon I could run a marathon.
Okay, I reckon you could, but I reckon you'd be stretching it to go to 100 plus.
I reckon past
anywhere
50,
near
and I'm
60
really
is hard.
struggling.
Took us 3.5 hours to run 20 kilometres. So we're looking at 6.5 hours for you to run 40.
I reckon you can run
Yeah, but
50.
I walked 80 kilometres in 15 hours.
Does it all have to be in one go, or can you do like
I reckon we could split it up.
20...
It's your
have a break
content
and then-
series, I guess.
Yeah.
So
I
you
reckon we
can-
could split it up.
Yeah, you can bend the rules.
We-
And
Well,
I'll jump on a lime scooter.
Question for you.
Yeah.
Do you think Jarra is going to be too fit to play in the Div 12 Resi side if he keeps this up?
Well, he wants... I had a chat with him the other day, and he said he wants to sit out the back of the pack in the back line. He just wants the cheap one out the back, kick along, get a few touches.
Yeah, get a repeat
Rolls
possession.
in,
He
rolls
also said
into
he wants to play
electric.
ones,
He also said he wants to play ones.
which would mean you're no longer allowed to be on the podcast.
Well,
Yeah.
okay,
Mhm.
I'll say it like this. I will go where I'm valued most, and the way people can show me how much they value me is
by
in the,
buying you KFC.
is in the cash they hand
Oh.
out. So whichever team offers me the most cash,
But we don't pay you when you're here on the podcast.
Are we allowed to say what you've chosen for football season this year with him?
No,
Okay.
it can't be announced. There's a secret in play for
Wow.
Jarra,
Wow.
and it might involve a trade at this rate.
Sorry.
The new
Because
secret's a trade.
We need a lot of draft
Three
capital.
seconds. Trade.
you did bring up at Jethro's the other day that you want to play in the ones, which I thought was disrespectful
It's disgusting.
to the table you were sitting with. It's like sitting at the unpopular table at school and saying, "Hey, I hang out with the popular kids on weekends."
well,
No one cares.
Is that from personal experience?
Yeah, it is actually.
No,
Yeah.
fuck off.
Yeah, how come Tommy gets to hang out with the fast runners? You played thirds on the weekend
I did.
while we're in Adelaide, and
I
you got
did.
called up.
I did. So,
So it's already come to fruition. You've been running for,
No.
for 10 days.
no,
And you've
Not
been
even.
plucked in the
It's
thirds.
the 8th of January.
No,
running for
okay,
Okay,
7
I don't know what
days.
day of the week it is, okay?
no, because you guys both played thirds. All right, so don't put this on us.
That was for content, though.
This was for content.
What
No.
content? We haven't seen any of it.
It's,
No,
it's on
no,
the
no.
Instagram.
No, I've seen it.
Yeah,
it's,
see?
It's shit, but
Oh,
I've seen
well.
it.
But it was there.
I got it.
I
Yeah.
had a Brownlow medal on and everything.
Okay, so are you going to play Div 12 Resies? Because Caden was getting a little bit worried and Bailey was getting a little bit worried after you brought that up.
I want to play Div 12 Resies.
That maybe we
because-
might have to
well,
say goodbye to Jarra.
It's because I have a bone to pick. I
What's the bone? Come on. it's
I
an
thought I
open
should have got
space.
best on, and
You
I'm
had
going
15
to
touches.
rectify it, and I'm going to get best on every game this year.
Okay, that is what your content series will
funny
say,
word,
but that's not
rectify.
what the paper, the
Oh.
Herald Sun will say on a Sunday.
I'm getting the league best and fairest named after me.
Just quickly, I have a question. What do you think? We know what Jarra's going to do. Off half back, hang off the back, wheel and check. What are you going to bring to the team? in Div 12?
Injuries.
Yeah, me too.
Tell you what.
Went for a run yesterday with Will. I got halfway around the oval, my knee blew up. So that's
Yeah.
where we're at. I'm now hit the age of 45 and I can't do fitness stuff.
So your housemate Connor Rogers has got a running program that he does for football
he tried to
season.
get me to do this the other day, and I blew up
He's a
after
very
one.
fit
And-
man.
So Caden and Rogie smashed it out, and you were keen to get into it, but his knee just fell into 3 bits.
I've done a PCL. If anyone cares,
Yeah.
no one seems to care.
No.
No one seems to care, but I have done a PCL.
I don't think we don't seem to care, but you say you've done a PCL, and then you go out and like run the
Yeah.
next day, and then you're like, Man, my knee hurts. It's fucked, bro.
I may be guilty of this.
Good point.
All right.
But
let's
we're
get
going to
in.
get you out of the square this year. That's what I want to know.
Yeah, well,
He thought he was going to ruck.
apart.
He got devastated when I told him he can't ruck.
Hey, man, I thought I was going to ruck. I thought I did 1 out of 3 in the Div 12 Ressies game. I thought
Pretty
could
good.
be a chance to maybe get
33%.
get a
it's not bad.
shinny, you know.
Because we had to drop our 4 backup ruckmen just to get the imports into the
Yeah, it's a
team.
good point, actually.
Impact armor. Like,
The next tallest player in the team was Caden McDonald.
That's pretty unfortunate for the team. But I think probably not out of the square. I want to play a little bit higher. Get a
I
bit
like that.
Get a bit of touch from the wingers.
Bit of movement up and down the ground.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Bit of Toby Green about you.
Yeah, I want to get up, high five the wingers, and then not get too far back, but just play on the half forward
It's
and
interesting.
disturb.
There will be
pace.
lots of chat about Div 12 Ressies in this pod, I reckon. Let's get stuck into it.
Yep.
The podcast was about content, strategy, planning. It's the first... Well, I mean, we had one with Cozzy. I'm not going to really call it the first of the year. It was in Adelaide. It's our first podcast of the year in Clubby Sports Studios. It's that time of the year, over New Year's, you sort of reflect on everything you've done, and then you start planning for what you're going to do next year and some things you got coming up. So, bring Jarra in. As much as we hate the bloke and as much as his running's going
Yeah.
strong,
You're walking on thin ice.
he
pal.
is a pretty savvy businessman, and he's pretty smart in the brain when it comes to content at times. So I'm going to pick his brain a little bit today and find out what he has in the pipelines without blowing too much smoke up his already inflated head.
And
So,
us.
I'll just deflect all of the compliments onto you guys.
thanks, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. And then afterwards, you'll tell us how you're the best
Well,
when we stop recording
yeah.
and how you won a best and fairest trophy. Okay,
Yes.
well, content planning and strategy. Jarra, what do you think worked well in 2023 for yourself or for us as the Ressies as a collective group? There's probably more that aren't here today that would be involved in that little group.
Yeah, well, there's obvious things like relatable content is obviously the most pure form of good working content. Anything that a large audience can relate to, which I think you guys hit the mark really well with the Div 12 Resi stuff, and then obviously going on to the 9th grade cricket, because most people don't play ones. Most people aren't very good at sport. There's an echelon of elite, and then
Well, there's 11 test players in Australia, and
the rest-
everyone below that is in the Ressies as such.
Exactly
Yeah, well,
right. So when you make the relatable content, you attack a much bigger market, and I think you guys did that really well. And then I think series that people can get behind. So
You're a big series man, I know this.
I love it. Well, because you want followers that are going to stick around week after week. So a good one of that is like,
You
and
give
I'll
us some
pump up my own
examples of
tyres
your
here.
series. Tell us
Yeah.
what your series are.
So like every Monday during the footy season, you'll see an AFL check-in, right?
On
It's-
Jarra Davis.
Exactly right. Every Monday night,
Davis Jarra.
you'll see the AFL check-in, and it's just a round review of the footy round that's happened, but it's every single week. It's something that
Consistent content.
yeah,
based.
every follower can come back to every single week knowing this is what I'm going to get.
Do they have to be consistent? Because I think we've done some series as such, maybe with like the Giltorp or Chasing Strawny,
Yeah.
or but they're probably not as consistent. Like we don't have a consistent posting strategy to them, but there is a series that people can follow along with.
I think yours is a series. Yours is more of a campaign.
Yeah.
So like your campaign could span over like a few months, and then it's once you reach the
Or you could
goal,
even, as such, maybe Marmalade TV is something we do where we go outside the grounds and interview people
Yeah,
after
exactly
the games.
right.
That's a
is
bit
a
more
series,
of a series, yeah.
But there's not got a framed day and time that we have to put everything up.
Yeah, it's more just that it's more something that when your followers click follow and they like that video, they know that they can come back, and you're always going to be posting that sort of content, because that's the stuff that builds your community. That's the stuff that makes people stick around for the pretty much the whole year, because you'll see that some people blow it really fast and then they don't have anything else. They have a few viral videos and they try and post something else and it doesn't work. You want people that come back every single week, every single day, saying, this is what I want to watch, you're the person I want to watch, and producing content that makes sense for them and that you can reproduce over and over and over again is the best way to do it.
I think it's a lot about continuity, momentum, and like viewer retention. Very important.
consistency.
So what worked well for you in 2023? What was your favourite videos? What was your best videos, you reckon?
I think...
Oh, the ones with me
Did you do a
and
look back? Did you do a...
Yeah, so I went back and did a full sort of like review of the videos that I think did well, and then also just the videos that I really enjoyed making. The videos that did well, obviously the check-in series was really good. I think, smashed it from last year. And then
Did you have to adapt it? You said you've been doing it for a while. Did you adapt it much?
Yeah, I did adapt it a lot. I changed the style of it from a little bit less analytical and a little bit more relatable, so that people didn't have to watch every game to understand what was happening. It was more just long flowing storylines.
Was that through
throughout the year.
feedback you got, or is that where'd you get that?
It was
idea
more
from?
through people commenting like, "Oh, I didn't see this happening," and if people don't see what I'm talking about, they can't really understand it.
So you're reading the comments on posts.
Yeah,
the
exactly
feedback,
right. Yeah.
Messages.
Yeah, absolutely. Constantly reading the comments, trying to figure out what works and what doesn't. And then another good long series that you can do throughout the year was the my game day vlogs, like just Resi game day vlogs at Monash, and sort of trying to make those as something that people can come back to every single week and know that there's going to be a little bit of a different spin, but the same sort of style of video. Just a bloke trying to enjoy his footy, playing in the thirds or the fourths or whatever I was playing back then.
Good. Willie, what was your best content at 23, you reckon, or what worked best for your account? Sometimes your best content, I don't know, you get lots of views or something, but like you just said, if they come to your account, they don't see a lot of that, they probably don't follow, or they follow and they unfollow pretty quick, so maybe it's not your best content for the year. Like, you can have something go mega viral that's unrelatable to who you are and what you regularly do, but you won't get a lot out of it. You might just grab like a quick flash in the pan, sort of like...
Yeah.
So sometimes like... Well, that's where the campaigns have worked well for us in building that community as such and getting people to tune in and stick with us for so long. So yeah, when I phrase that question, like what was your best content and stuff, doesn't have to be the craziest plays or, you know.
Yeah.
What do you think was your best leaving 23?
I enjoyed more collaborative videos that we did. There was like a lot of stereotype videos I started doing at the start of this year when it was more myself, just me behind the camera. But then as I came up to Melbourne a bit more, I was making videos with Jarra, Kate and you boys. And then that's when I started to enjoy making the videos and the ability to like just have everyone in a video, have everyone's different personalities, characters in the video. I feel like that's the best content for me. Best is in numbers. Like obviously the shadow banning stuff has like just... It's tapped into a
shadow
market.
batting in the music festival, shadow batting at Rebel Sport.
Yeah, that one went nuts very quickly.
Which did become consistent content, I guess, because you did it a few times, you did it a few different ways.
Yeah, I think a good example of Will's content that was really a series but also had that really good sense of virality was the plane guy stuff. It was something that you could repeat
that
quite
basically,
a bit
in
that people
essence,
can come back
the
to.
same video 5 or 6 times. But each time with a slight adjustment to make it seem fresh and
exactly
new,
right.
and new setting. And
Yeah.
But if you were to storyboard or script it, it's essentially the same storyboard.
Exactly
100%.
right.
Like, obviously it started out as just a one-time thing, and then I'd started to add some more things to it. So I would talk to the camera, I'd be asleep for one of them. I had a WWE championship belt.
Where is that?
I can't find the belt.
Oh
so
no!
I can't.
You guys
take
done
it
a
with
deep
me.
clean of the house and
I
someone's
just
thrown
did
it
a deep
out.
clean today.
Yeah,
Deep clean at Will's cupboard.
Oh, oh my god! Today I'm looking for the glass cleaner. I open up 6 cupboards in the bathroom. It's all of Will's clothes.
But then there's also Will's clothes on the lounge room floor, on the laundry floor, in the laundry sink. So
I don't know what's going on.
Will's
I've
got a lot of clothes.
got to find a house, man.
You want to rent my cupboard out?
Sorry?
You want to rent one of my cupboards out?
Oh, do I have the money to rent out a cupboard?
At the end of
What's
the
the
money,
prices on a rental of a cupboard?
$50 a week.
$50.
I got a big cupboard. You could fit heaps in there. You
Does
can,
my
I can you can fit your whole wardrobe in my cupboard.
Does my stuff get steam cleaned and like ironed before it
I'll
goes
spit
in
on it if you want.
We'll talk. I'll think
Do
about
some
it.
negotiating on that price.
We'll
if that's the
workshop it.
case.
I'll think about it. Yeah, we'll workshop that one. So back to the content stuff. Yeah.
He hates being thrown under the bus.
Back to the content stuff. Yeah, the plane guy stuff was awesome because it not only from the sporting stuff, like you'd get recognised. I remember the first time I got recognised as the plane guy, and I was like, "Fuck, that's hilarious!" Like, someone's seen me doing like plane shit, and like they've found it funny. So yeah, I think those kinds of series, builds up a bit of an audience and gets people interacting with it.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
obviously Checkers, you did a whole bunch of different videos this year. Obviously last year, obviously the most popular would have been
Div 12
the Div
Ressies.
12 Resi stuff, which ended in obviously that massive game and that massive event. But there was obviously some other
There's some other
series
stuff
like
on the way, but
training for the Fox Footy longest kick,
yeah,
That's my
things
favourite.
like that.
we started the year not even knowing that Div Tour Ressies was a thing. Like, that was completely... Even when we first met, well, not first met, but like we first hung out regularly at Gather Round, Div 12 Ressies as an idea had no existence. It wasn't until like 2 weeks after Gather Round that was born.
Why haven't he decided to play at that
Yeah,
Gather Round?
Srey still hadn't been to a training at that point of Gather Round, which
It
we're talking
showed.
is like middle of April. So from the middle of April to now, that has been... But we get recognised everywhere as a Div 12 Ressies. Like, it's funny, people don't say Marmalade, they don't say Jarra, they don't say Will. The majority of people go, oh, they're the Div 12 Ressies. It's become the tagline in that short amount of time, even though we've been making content for 3 years. Even though we've been doing this for so long, we're putting so many videos out there that such a short series can bring that much attention.
Yeah. So obviously, if you didn't plan it that much for the year, obviously going into this year, and you've got a bunch of people playing with you, how do you plan on making the series feel the same, but at the same time making the quality of it better?
Yeah, that's the hurdle, isn't it? Well, we already know that we can repeat what we've already done. Like, if you know what I mean? Like, we've already done that, so we can already do that again. Will it be interesting? Probably not as much. It's the same as like you guys do your check-ins. We can adapt that a little bit, change it around to make it feel natural, and just re-rinse what we've already done, basically. Like, have the same sort of storyline and what you've done with your playing video. It's just you unbuckling your belt. It's just us playing shit footy. We can re-rinse it. That's the starting base, but how do we take it to another gear or take it to another level is how do we really shake up the storyline a lot so that it seems like a brand new content piece is the challenge that we've got this year, I guess. And that's where all the planning comes in.
Very collaborative. Like, you'll see me and Joel do our thing, and then you'll see let me go to Will Taylor's page to see how Will Taylor's day was when he played, and then you want to go see Caden Donald how he played. And I think that's where it'll come in to be.
There's gonna be that
unique
stress of like, I mean, it was our content piece this year, and as such we owned the piece, but now we're sort of like spreading it out, letting other people take over. So like speaking to you guys and speaking to Caden, it's like Caden can become the Div 12 Resi. He might be the biggest piece of the face of the Div 12 Resi by the end of the year. We never know how it's going to adapt. But how do we like assist him in like getting there? How do we be like the it's a weird way to describe it. Like, have you ever seen like Marvel movies or like Star Wars or anything like those movies? There's always like a father figure in the early episodes. So like imagine like Star Wars, there's the main character, but by episode 6 or 7, he is now like the father figure to the new characters.
Yeah.
So maybe in Div 12 Resies, me and Srey were the season 1 stars, but by season 4 or 5, there's completely new characters that come on board, and they become the stars, and we're sort of just, how do we adapt that role of being mentors and not being the face of the content at times?
If you're a superhero, which one would you be out of the Marvel characters?
You'd be Veruca Salt when she blew up in Willy Wonka. The big
She's
circle.
not from Marvel, man.
I'd be
The Incredible Hulk.
I'd be Thor.
Would you?
Yeah, I'm Thor.
No, you wouldn't. Your muscles
He's
aren't big
just
enough.
I'm Thor. I'm definitely Thor.
Hammer Man.
You'd be Ant-Man.
Ant-Man's massive.
He's useless.
He's so big.
No, he's good.
I'd be the Brad Pitt in the Fantastic Four.
Shut up.
When he sets on fire, but it's just my bum hole after
Oh,
he drinks a chalky
Jesus
milk.
Christ.
And we'll cut that one out.
Yes.
What about you, Will? What would you be?
Probably someone shit like. It's just no good.
Who's that rock guy from Thor?
Hawkeye, the guy that just shoots arrows.
No, what's the rock guy called?
The Kiwi bloke from the Thor movies.
Core or something.
Yeah, you'd be that guy.
I honestly don't watch much Marvel.
He's
No,
just,
neither do I.
He's just made
I'd
of
be
rocks,
Frozone.
and he's funny though.
Black Widow, because everyone tells
I'd be
me
Edna Mode from The Incredibles. Is that...
Yes, Edna Mode.
So, back to content again, like Will said before. Producer Srey has already been a major distraction this
Sorry, that
episode.
was Will that asked the
Turn his
question.
mic off.
Fire out straight. Come on, man.
Oh, that was Will.
Turn his microphone off. Bloody hell, he keeps butting in with Marvel questions.
Will asked that
He's
question.
going to turn your microphone off in a second.
Shit, I forgot he's got the power. Fuck.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's what worked well in 2023. Planning for 2024, what has been some things that you've been planning for? I've got written down in our notes some things we know that we have coming up already, and it's hard because last year we didn't plan. Like I said before, we didn't know about Div 12 Resies until April. We didn't know we're moving to Melbourne until July.
Even later than that, I reckon.
Well, we moved in July, so
Did we?
yeah, that's when we moved here.
I'm still thinking about Melbourne when you're in Melbourne.
Jeez.
Like, that's crazy, man.
But like, planning can be hard. Like, because if you asked me this question at January last year, we were still living in Adelaide. We were still just making videos at the AFL. Srey wasn't even playing footy.
Yeah.
We just worked at the
So the
pub,
planning
didn't
could be crazy. But how do you? What's your planning that goes in steps this early in the year for maybe some other content creators out there. What goes through your head when you're planning content for 2024 in January of 2024?
When I'm thinking about what content I think I'm gonna make in the year, I'm thinking about what content I'm gonna be interested for a whole year. I think I've been really heavily focused on footy for the last 2 years, and also heavily focused on TikTok side of things. Like, I didn't really post on Instagram until
Recently,
the last sort of like
starting to blow up a little bit.
6 months. So like trying to make different content on Instagram that I do to TikTok. So I'll still continue with a lot of the footy stuff, footy-centric stuff with the check-ins, game day vlogs, Div 12 Ressies sort of stuff over there. And then probably look to expand Instagram into different sports with a different ceiling and hopefully a little bit of a different audience. I kind of want to branch out a little bit, see what I can find, which I think is sort of the idea of the running series. Trying to like move running into different sports. And then hopefully completely sort of different audiences and try and have
I don't know if you can do it, J-Man,
things.
but I'd love to see. We know you work at 7. I'd love to see a day in life at 7. I know you get to work early, but that would interest me. I don't know if that's super interesting, but that would spark my interest.
I woke up this morning at like 3 a.m. And I was like, "Is today the day that I film a day in the life?"
I'd love to say
like
it's
Channel
so
7,
interesting,
and I didn't.
And Jarra hit snooze and went straight back to bed.
I got straight in the car and drove to the studio.
Poor man.
KFC is not the studio.
I was knocking on KFC's door until
Is
they...
KFC open at 3 in the morning?
No, I was doing a Bailey McCabe. I was camping out the front till they opened. I wanted the first chicken tender.
Well, something I was doing a lot in Adelaide was planning content, and Div 12 Res is obviously a major piece. So we've been planning out who are we going to play for, who's going to play, are we going to have a big game, some of the logistics, but it is hard to plan that when it's not even in footy season and it's not footy, mine's not ticking. But I just looked back at what I had planned in 2023, and I've written down that we had 2 content pieces we planned, and that was to try get Strawny, which took until September to get, and probably was one of our, no offense to the Strawny video on the end, but it was one of our weaker pieces throughout the entire year. It faded away.
But one of the funnest.
It was fun, but there's no offense to the video that we did in the end. But it was not a video that was on the forefront all year, but that's what we planned to be our biggest video piece of the year. The other thing we planned was to start a podcast in Adelaide, which we did, called On Toast. Lasted 3 episodes. Now we have a real podcast. That was the dodgiest ass podcast, but like that was us last year. That was all the planning we put in. We put lots of planning into that, and it was the 2 worst pieces of the year. So like the stuff you're planning in January can be a little bit hard. What I've done this year though is I put down some of the key dates that we know we've got coming up. So I've got round 0 could be a key feature because it's footy's going to New South Wales and Queensland. Gather round's going to be a big piece because we probably weren't as well prepared for it last year. So it's something I want to plan a bit more this year. Div 12 Resi season is big. There's something else we'll announce in a second, but like putting down key dates and then knowing that that's something I can easily plan, because planning podcasts last year and planning Strawny video last year was a waste of time as such, because things happen so quickly in that content game, but events don't change, so key dates in the year don't change. Like we know that there's going to be the Olympics. So we could start planning content around things that we know aren't going to change, because mini content series like getting on the Fox Footy longest kick or Srey kicking his first goal sort of pop up very quickly before you go and film them. But events such as the Olympics or the World Cup or whatever is going on, we can sort of pre-plan a lot of stuff in advance for that. So that's my way to get around content planning better in 2024, is to plan for events but then be unprepared and unplanned for those spontaneous cool little pieces that come
often
up.
Like some of the best content pieces are the ones that you think of sort of on the spot and you're just like, all right, let's just do it.
Shit, Srey can't kick. Let's create a content piece about how he can't kick and get him to kick a goal.
I think spontaneous clips, like, as much as it is cool to plan, have everything to a T, like written up, spontaneous clips are just like so raw that it almost like makes it a better video. Almost, I don't know if I'm making sense here, but like,
no, I get you.
Spontaneous clips can be fun, but like it is that time of year where everyone's planning. Like there's not a lot going on, and we're planning. And I feel like last year we wasted that time by planning stuff that we couldn't control because they were going to be spontaneous in the end. Like they weren't strong content pieces. So this year I'm going to plan a little bit better by picking out key events and using this time to plan those key events out. So when I come to them, I can spend all my time on spontaneous pieces, not having to worry the week before the Olympics. Shit, what's 15 videos we can do through the Olympics? Because
So
then
a few Jethro sessions with the laptops will be out over the next couple of weeks.
definitely.
Mate,
There was that announcement I just said. Sorry to cut you off. You're
No,
talking.
you're
Your
right.
mind's ticking on coffee already because you've had 6 of them
coffee
today.
and toasties. I think we should put a tab behind the Jethro's cafe and just label it Ressies.
And
Lewis,
Jill
you put a
Buckley
tab
can
on.
pick it up at the end of every month.
Yeah. We'll just invoice
On the Clubby Sports business card.
Yes, that can go to them. I'm sorry for cutting.
Well, there's a big announcement that me and Jarra have got for content that we're planning, and it's
and
something.
lots of planning's gone into this one. This is a
Not
plan.
yet. Nothing's got into it. My PCL might not even hold up for it.
Jeez.
But in February, Jarra and I are going to play in the NTFL.
Shit, awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, who for?
The team that Prime doesn't play for. St.
Yeah.
Mary's. We're going to play for St. Mary's.
Which is a storied club up there.
It's actually, I saw a TikTok the other
Like-
day and it said St. Mary's was the number one
They are.
most popular, like, oldest, traditionalist, like,
They're
most
also,
history.
They're also the best club.
Best club. They said
Yeah.
POC was the best club in Adelaide, the TikTok, which I thought was interesting. It's probably Adelaide Uni, POC, probably the two, which I'd agree with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they
definitely.
reckon St. Mary's is like, yeah,
St. Mary's is
The strong-
extremely
Very good.
successful.
Yeah. I only know probably 3 clubs, and it's that Magpies team, the one that
Palmerston Magpies.
Palmerston Magpies.
Eddie Betts.
Buffaloes.
Gary Ablett
Buffaloes.
played for Palmerston as well.
And
Tiwi Bombers.
St Mary's. No, I didn't even know the Tiwi Bombers were a thing.
Anthony Tibwoody is playing for him.
Oh.
But yeah, we're going up to Darwin. We're going to be playing some footy for one weekend, doing some running.
Yeah.
And that's something we're going to be planning out in January.
You've
because-
got a plan to get your PCL fixed, man. If
Yeah,
you're
you
gonna
need to
do
go to
some running.
rehab or something. Because
Should
I
we
don't
do
know
a
if you're going to
backyard
last.
surgery on him?
I don't know if
Slice
you're going
him
to
open.
last
A
in the
backyard
ruck.
surgery.
Yeah.
I don't
what, use
trust
a
this
button
man with
knife?
anything.
Yeah, why not?
You don't get them repaired. It's not a. They don't surgically repair him. It
Cheeks
needs
just has to
rest.
sit on the
I've never done a
sidelines
PCL
for a little bit.
It needs rest, and you know what didn't help resting it? Sitting in an aeroplane middle seat in between 2 fat fucks on the way back from Adelaide.
Yeah.
And being a fat fuck myself, and I was like, knees were hitting my face, and I'm sitting there and then come off the plane. Oh, let's go do some running.
Oh, you
Did
got
you
to
and
take.
Will not sit next to each other?
No.
You got to take the
No.
whole seat. You got to be
I-
like, come on.
Because he booked his tickets like ages before I did, and then I
Oh,
just booked
sorry.
for the same flight.
Yeah,
and I
right.
sat behind 2 screaming and crying children.
Oh, beautiful.
You don't want to sit next to Will these days. Everyone looks at him because he's the plane guy.
For
I know,
45
right?
minutes, I was trying to sleep, and I couldn't sleep. And the plane hadn't even left the airport.
Jeez. Christ.
So, yeah, my flight went great.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
No worries, man.
Jarra, what platforms do you think are going to go well in 2024? You said you're trying to get more on Instagram.
Yeah, well, I think as audiences age up a little bit, you find that Instagram becomes a little bit more popular. You might find that your Instagram audience is probably a little bit older than the TikTok audience. Now, TikTok's always going to be massive just because it's such an addictive app, especially for kids. So, obviously, that's going to go huge. I do think YouTube Shorts,
Mm-hmm.
specifically because of the fact that YouTube is pre-downloaded on every Android. And it's
It's
also,
also
Yeah.
the biggest app
yeah.
in the
True.
world.
Yeah.
Biggest.
And
Most music is consumed on YouTube more than Spotify, Apple, and most videos.
And the YouTube,
Don't know if that's changed with the new stats at the end of 2024. But
Probably still is.
yeah, and the YouTube Shorts pays creators now.
very small amounts of money.
But
YouTube, pay me more.
no, but it's a sense of like, if you're a TikTok creator, a big one who's getting millions and millions of views a day, let's say, and you're going, all right, I'm in Australia or I can't get monetized on TikTok, I'm going to go to YouTube Shorts anyway. And then people start posting long form content because long form content is probably the way that you sort of have to go to build longevity, basically. You find that I think a lot of people will start posting every piece of content they make on YouTube Shorts. And you'll find a lot of audiences will just like naturally migrate over there.
What I've noticed is a lot of TikTokers or Instagram type people move to YouTube just to get that monetization factor on their TikToks or short format. So we're talking Reels, TikToks,
Yeah.
maybe girls that do makeup, maybe PTs that do those like 50-second videos in the gym. Can't get any money off TikTok, can't get any money off Instagram. There's that appeal. Shit, I'll go start uploading my stuff to YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Get paid very minimal amounts of money. That's not a massive revenue share
Yeah.
for shorts, but it's enticing. The fact that you can make money out of doing what you're already doing on other
Yeah,
platforms just
and-
by re-uploading it to another
And
app.
And if everyone starts going there,
But then they get there, these girls doing makeup or these guys doing PT or whatever they're doing, short format content people, there's not they get there and they go, oh, heck, maybe I could start doing long format too to build that YouTube account up, get more followers, get more people watching my shorts, get more money, and they become YouTubers.
Yeah.
So they're pretty much stealing people from TikTok or such that have got short form ideas. Maybe even people that do dumb shit like just dancing for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Move to YouTube to get that little bit of money from shorts and then go,
Start doing
fuck,
long
might as well
form
just start making some long format
Q&As
videos.
and shopping hauls and shit. And but it is that thing that TikTok's trying to handle when you see overseas they're now paying creators for videos longer than a minute. They're obviously trying
combat the long format.
Yeah, they're obviously trying to get people to make longer form content. But it's hard to watch portrait content for more than sort of 3 minutes.
That's the thing is everyone's attention spans are reducing from doing
Especially when you can
TikToks and
just swipe.
Reels.
Whereas a YouTube video, you sort of have to like click
off.
go find another thumbnail that looks good. Whereas on TikTok, you just scroll to the next one, you just keep scrolling forever. So I think YouTube will always be the platform that you want to be on.
The platforms are enticing people to make long content, but the audience is wanting to watch short format content
Exactly
because
right.
they've got reducing attention spans as years go by.
Which is why YouTube has done it perfectly, because they have the perfect... They're obviously the long form king, but then they've created a separate thing that looks like TikTok and Instagram Reels of shorts where people can be like, oh, I don't want to be on YouTube for...
Very much like Spotify having music on their app, and then everyone going to other apps to listen to podcasts, and Spotify going, well, fuck, let's put a 40-minute podcast on the same app that we've got 4-minute songs. So when you're in the car, if you just want to listen to 4-minute songs for a bit, listen to the songs. If you want to listen to the 55 minutes of Jarra Davis talking,
exactly right.
It's on the same app.
Listen to that, so
I'd
it's
listen
okay.
to that, man.
So that's like, so I think...
It's a smart adaptation they've got.
Yeah.
They've been saying this for over a year and a half, though, now that YouTube's going to take over the short format market, and I don't think it has yet. And it's weird because they are monetizing shorts, and people are jumping across. Like, we're uploading to YouTube Shorts, but we're not addicted to it. We haven't made the jump. I wouldn't say we've jumped.
But I also think that there is a reason behind that. You've got to think, when you create content for Instagram and TikTok, you know what's going to bang on Instagram and what's going to bang on TikTok. So people are re-uploading all of their Instagram Reels and their TikToks to YouTube Shorts. But maybe that's not the audience that's going to watch that. So maybe the content has to be tailored towards the YouTube Shorts audience. Maybe you have to do a little bit of
I think it's upset
research.
a few YouTubers as well, just seeing YouTubers grinding so hard with this long format content for like 10 years. So think about Caden McDonald, one of our mates in the AFL realm. It might be easy to explain, but he's been making long format videos for all this time. Us numpties have come along, made a few short format videos on our phone. We jump across to YouTube, re-upload all our TikToks, and our followers start to bang more than his do. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Not as much as a personal experience, but I've seen that happen. Is just TikTokers jump on the app, get a lot of followers, and you think about all these people who've been grinding for years, making long format videos, and it's their app and it's their crowd, and then people just swiping in with this little short format
it's
new feature. This could be a little bit of hassle
It's
between.
just the new wave,
Well,
isn't
I
it?
feel like it's adapting to the changing circumstances of social media, because social media is going to continue to grow. Like you were talking about how Spotify was music and then had to adapt to accommodate for podcasting. I think you've just got to be quick on your feet, otherwise you're going to get left behind, and you're just going to be a memory. Like everyone will be like, "Oh, I remember Caden McDonald. Oh, he's no longer making videos." But have a look at
He's potted Dos
we're just
and
going
Baz.
to clip that up just by itself and put that up on the Instagram at the end of this episode.
Caden. That was an example.
Well, that's not going to get in the clip.
yeah.
Sorry, producer Srey, note that down. Just clip that 4-second.
Make Will look like a very mean person.
Perfect. Thanks.
Guys, I'm sad now.
So, what platforms do you think are going to go well? Is it YouTube?
I think, well,
It's not Threads.
it's definitely not
Threads.
I
Threads.
have an interesting one. All right.
But
Listening.
I will also say, I hate live streams with a passion. But
Yeah.
I have recently started watching live streams on Kick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bit different.
is
There's a
an
lot of
interesting
money
one.
in Kick.
Because the owners of Kick have just flushed out so much cash to all of these big names, and they're paying creators pretty well over there. I think you might find a lot of interesting people start live streaming. Donations are very...
Donations are big.
Donations are very
So we're
big.
talking about people going to YouTube to get their revenue from YouTube Shorts. I'm talking we've made about $6 off them. So can barely buy a
We can get
fucking
a
coffee
coffee.
at
We
Jethro's.
can get a coffee.
Can't get the toasty. All right, and we've had Shorts hit 100k plus plays.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's
we
not a lot
have
of cash
to.
in it, but I've seen people go live and get $300, $400 with the same amount of viewers.
Exactly right.
So
You get
it's
40
a massive.
people in a live stream, you can get $80 in an hour.
Depending what you're doing, yeah. There's some
exactly
crazy
right. So-
people out there that will donate to see some weird stuff on live.
Watch
but
out for some kick content.
I think, I'm not a fan of it personally. I don't watch it, and I'm not a fan of how it is. But even I see on TikTok is the live stream market makes a lot of cash. There's some people who churn some big money. I feel like at times it can be exploiting people,
Yeah. Oh,
especially
definitely.
kids with their mum's credit
I
cards and
hate
the app.
battles.
And
TikTok battles.
yeah, there's some really crook things going on. But there's a lot of money being shared around on that
TikTok
sort of
battles has just turned like feral people into like
millionaires.
Yeah. And I think the British market is like
It's upsetting to say, really, isn't it?
funniest things. Because I've watched a few YouTube videos of like just absolute deros getting like put on a platform wearing now like Balenciaga, Louis Vuitton, and like they just
Drop some
don't-
names.
Yeah.
Fuck it, drop some names.
I couldn't
No,
tell you
let's
the
not
names,
drop any
but
names.
like, there's this one chick that like, she was crying one day because one of her top like gifters who was just like churning money into her TikTok account just stopped gifting her, and she like
His mum's cancelled the credit card.
she like completely lost the plot because he went and started gifting other people, and like she lost the plot just and then fell off.
Yeah, well, she might not make rent that month, but
Let's get too political.
Yeah.
No more politics.
but Checkers, you said you had an interesting platform.
Big platform.
Facebook.
No, hold up. Well, Facebook's gone good. So we
like
got on
Facebook.
Facebook this year, and it's actual because Facebook and Instagram are both Meta
Together,
owned, together, linked. It's piss easy.
Yeah,
And it's something I've been telling a lot of the other boys that we associate with is to just get a Facebook page running. You can upload your reels directly to Facebook without one click, one button from Instagram. So you post something on Instagram, you post a video of you getting on a plane, and that's getting 20 million views on Instagram. One button, that goes on Facebook. Will it get 20 million views on Facebook? Who knows?
Probably not, but
Could
that's
get
okay.
500 million views on Facebook, could get 5 views. Who gives a fuck? It's just a one click of the button.
Yeah.
All
I'll
right?
have to try that.
But some of our videos have gone massive on Facebook and not slapped on Instagram because it's a different audience. Like you said before, YouTube, people who use YouTube are different to people who use TikTok, and people who use TikTok are different to people who use Facebook. I find there's a bit of an older audience on Facebook, but for one click of a button, it's so easy to upload there. We've had 10k followers now on the Facebook page, and I have not put anything more than that one click of a button's effort into it. So, yeah, I think if you've got an Instagram account and you're going well on Instagram and you don't have a Facebook, get it. That's definitely a massive. You should all get one. It's so easy to get, and you can monetize it, and you can. It's just
I'm re-downloading my Meta Business thing so I can link my.
It's piss easy, and I
Facebook
think a lot of
page.
people aren't doing that as well. There's been a lot of people, especially in the Australian sports community. I don't see a lot of people, but I know there's people like we've had videos recently. The Boxy hit 1 million plays on Facebook,
Oh, it's huge.
as well as hitting 1 million plays on YouTube, as well as hitting on TikTok, and as well as hitting 1 million plays on Instagram. So they're 3 million plays all up. Are they the same viewers? Who knows? But it's just widening your audience for one click of a button. The platform I think is going to slap. You guys might not agree.
Oh, I know what it is.
If you dare say blogging, I'm
No,
gonna
well,
flip
actually,
out.
blogging is on my list of things to do in 2024. I think
I know what he's going to say.
blogging. Well, stop just tossing up platforms that I want to talk about. Blogging, doing sports. There is an audience out there that want to read sports blogs, and we're playing Div 12 Ressies. A lot of them read AFL blogs and the AFL articles, but there's not a lot of articles and blogs on Ressies. So maybe that's a good platform for us.
All right,
Okay.
let's go.
X, formerly Twitter,
I hate it.
is
I
the
hate it so
platform
much.
that's going to go well in 2024.
Said that last year, at the start of 2022.
I am an avid Twitter user because
I am too.
because I follow a lot of American sports. So, but all of the sports journals over there are constantly tweeting. So I love Twitter. I don't know if is
Hear me
there a
out.
market in Australia
Hear
for
me
it?
out. Did you guys possibly see the news articles on me drinking beer out of a penis protector?
I was not going to
Yeah,
read
I
the article.
saw
Did you
that.
see them pop up though?
I did.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
Okay. In all those articles, did they reference Marmalade TikTok? Did they reference Marmalade Instagram? Did they reference Marmalade Facebook, YouTube? No.
They
said
his
Twitter comedian Checkers. In the Drinking Milk with Peter Malinowskis video that got 5 articles written in the newspaper about it. What did they reference? Twitter Marmalade.
Is that because
In Shrey's first goal, when they
Yeah.
played it on the news, on TV, on free-to-air TV on Channel 9, they put it on the news, Srey kicks first goal. Reference Marmalade Twitter.
I'll ask a question. is it back onto the point that I was saying about American sports journos? Is it because a lot of the journos
becomes a credible source
are on Twitter?
Because if you're on TikTok and you're a journo or you're someone big looking for articles to write, you have to scroll through so much fucking shit. So many kids doing dance moves. So many people just doing dumb videos.
Right.
If
So
you're on
many kids
Facebook, you have
drinking
to
out of
scroll through
boxes.
ads. If you're on Instagram, you have to scroll through all these photos of chicks in bikinis. But if you're on Twitter, 95% of the shit posted to Twitter
Just information.
is pretty
variety.
informative.
Yeah, I'm.
There's other stuff on
you're
there as
convincing
well,
me.
So if you want to explode, might not be your biggest market. You might not make a lot of revenue off it. You might not get brand deals out of Twitter. You might not,
But you might get a
Get
couple
famous.
articles and
Yeah, if you want an article, it's
but
Twitter.
you'll get on TV. You'll get articles written in the newspaper. You'll get called into radio stations for interviews. That have all come from our Twitter,
yeah,
which
I
is
don't mind
crazy. It's the smallest following we've got, the platform we use the least, but it's got us our biggest opportunities at times.
He's not wrong. My shadow batting at the Carl Cox thing went pretty nuts on Twitter. It got 2 million views and then got reposted heaps.
By Herschel Gibbs reposted on Twitter, but
Yeah.
he didn't
Herschel
repost on
Gibbs
TikTok or
reposted it?
Insta.
And then Stuart Broad as well. And
Broady loves us.
Jimmy Anderson loved it.
So
I don't love Jimmy
Twitter's an
Anderson.
undervalued source, I reckon. I've heard the Shed mates talk about it a little bit in the past too,
They
and they
use
do a lot of
Twitter.
international.
Yeah,
They've gone
that's their
really
market for
international
sure.
through Twitter because there is a lot of international journos, like you said, American sports journos that see these two young blokes from Australia with mullets and mustaches looking pretty
And
hot
they're
and sexy, and
We couldn't do that, could we?
probably not. But we can have a crack. I can drink more beers out of some boxes if you want.
Should we lose?
But
a
I
few
think Twitter's
kgs?
is going to be big in 2024.
I don't.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I don't mind it.
No one's talking about it. No one, at least at Jethro's.
Now,
Should I-
now we are.
Should I
That's
read
it.
it?
And now the
Read
6
out some
people
of
that
the
are listening to the
tweets?
Ressies podcast is firing after listening to Jarra Davis
7.
talk.
My mum started listening again, so
Okay.
it's 7.
So 7 people listen to the Ressies podcast and now going to get on Twitter, hopefully.
Stew balls will listen to this.
Should I read my tweets that I've done in the past?
No.
Can you read one of Shrey's tweets? Shrey's
Oh.
on
No,
Twitter.
I deleted
There we
all of
go.
them.
Damn, Shrey had some good tweets.
I
You're
deleted them
kidding
all.
me.
Shrey's tweets
A little bit rogue.
Shrey.
are unwell.
Nah, they were bad.
Cameraman Shrey. You've got 79 followers, man. That's huge.
I used to play a lot of Fortnite and through Twitter. Like you do comps and tournaments through Twitter, so that's how.
Fair enough.
I have followers.
All right, next segment. Are you guys looking up your Twitter? Is that what you're doing?
I'm looking up
Jarra's
Shrey's
messaging
Twitter.
girls. I can see through the reflection on the TV. He's on
Shut,
Snapchat to some
shut
women.
the fuck up. It's my birthday.
I was
Yeah,
text-
that's Shrey's tweet. There it
Yes.
is. Shut the fuck up. It's my birthday. What
I was-
made you tweet that?
I'm not
It was
sure.
his
It was
birthday,
my
man.
birthday, yes, but I don't know. Can't remember.
didn't
My
get-
birthday's coming up, by the way, guys. It's in a month.
He didn't
But
get
his
it.
birthday
He
was
didn't
like
get
3
any
weeks ago.
No, my
story.
birthday's in a month. It's on February the 8th, guys. I would love.
He didn't get any story tags on Instagram or
Fucking
Snapchat.
finally
so
got
he had
back
to just tell
into
everyone.
this Twitter.
Oh yeah, I couldn't get into it.
Jeez.
So someone just
Pretty
lo-
much what we're saying is don't go follow Shrey's Twitter. All right, let's move on from Shrey's Twitter. It's not that interesting. I don't know why we need to read out all the
Yeah,
tweets.
well, you're weird, man.
I was gonna read out my Twitter because there was some funny things. But
All
I
right.
deleted all the good ones.
Content idea. I've sent you two away with a plan that I want. We've just talked about some platforms. Twitter I really like, but one we spent a lot of time on was YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And it's something we're trying to grow, and you've said about shorts. Jarra, you said you haven't said it on the pod, but you've said to me at Jethro's, are you interested in starting or building a YouTube this year?
Well, it was either that or really go sort of off the cliff of content.
Giving it up. You want to
yeah.
experiment. You've been doing short format for a long time, and you want to do some long
Yeah,
format.
I just want to change some things up, have a little bit of variety to my life instead of just putting
Money.
the camera on a ring light and,
Money.
It's something I've been planning a
and
lot
saying alrighty,
with
guys.
vlogging for our Div 12 Resi games.
Yep.
Is trying to find, it's so easy to get short format content, but trying to find some ways to change it up in 2024. Maybe go more long format pieces and live streaming, like you said before, on YouTube with our Resi games. So YouTube is something I want to build. Send you away with a challenge, all right? Come back to me, come back to the table, come back to the Resies podcast. I want your 3 best ideas for a YouTube video. And this is how we do it. When we go down to Jethro's or when we catch up on the lounge and we start brainstorming for content, all right? So we know we've got an event coming up. We usually grab a coffee. We're sitting around the table and we start spitballing ideas for crazy videos. And that's how some of the best videos get done. Let's do it in the podcast. Let's do it here. Let's do it live.
Yeah. We're at Jethro's right now.
We're at Jethro's, all right? We're not in Clubby Sports Studios. We're at Jethro's.
Can I get an iced latte, please?
I'd love an ice latte. 3 best ideas for a YouTube video. That's 9 ideas between the table. we're going to use one of them. The best one we're going to use.
We
all
should
right?
basically use all of them if they're good, though.
The other 8, if you're listening to this podcast, if you're watching this podcast,
You
feel
can't
free to
steal
have
them.
them. Have
No,
them.
can't steal
No, you can have them. You can have
copyright
the
them.
other 8. The one we pick, we're doing.
I'm
Copyrighted
copyrighted all
yesterday.
mine.
The other 8 you can go do if you wish. But the
Trademark.
one we are picking, we're going to actually go out and film today. Not today, because it's night time right now. But when
It's
we...
raining.
Yeah,
Yes.
we'll film it
Yep.
in the next
All
week
right.
or so. So, Jarra, kick us off. Give us one idea. We'll go around the table one idea at a time.
All right, so I'll start with a really sensible one with a lot of backing behind it, because we've seen a lot of success with this video in the short format, but I think it would be a really good market to hit long form content wise. And I think you could hit a really good market, and this is specifically more for checkers than anyone else here.
I'm concerned.
No, this is a good one. This is a really good idea that I think you should do no matter what. You have done a repairing cricket bats short format. I think you should do a repairing cricket bats. You should do 5, 6, maybe 7 in a long format video, 12, 13 minutes. I think you could hit a really good market, and you could explain the process, explain how you get stickers, almost teach people how to repair their own cricket bats. It's almost like a tutorial, but you're repairing shit cricket bats into
I like it.
into
I like it.
kahunas.
They've been getting good play counts on short format videos, and they've been getting lots of attention.
I've had a lot of people, because I re-stickered my bat that I'm using now, I've had a lot of people hit me up about how I got the stickers, so...
There's some secrets of the industry that aren't that secret.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, and
failed
imagine-
U10 woodwork. I have no woodworking skills, but just from
Oh,
knowing where to get
plus U10
stickers and
woodwork.
where to get tape from.
Exactly. I think it could be a really good video.
The other thing we risk with that one, though, is because I don't have the actual skills of woodworking, is I noticed recently in the last video I pulled my stickers off the wrong way because I don't know how to pull them off. And we got a few hate comments, but in a long format, if I'm explaining, hey, I'm going to pull the fucking stickers off this way, and then people are going to be like, you're an idiot.
Yeah,
you have no idea what you're talking about, and I don't.
Oh shit, I'm an idiot, and I'm gonna go. I've spent 2 hours sanding this and making sure it's got a good middle. I took it out to the nets, and it broke in half.
Repairing bats
That's funny.
for dummies.
Buy a dummy.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
I don't mind it. I like it. It's good. It's a good one.
And then one way you can expand on it as well is we've obviously got a good relationship with Kookaburra, where you could have a guest on, maybe, I don't know, Lockie from the Batcave.
Yeah.
He was nice.
He actually knows what he's doing, though, so
Yeah.
that's where it becomes interesting because we don't get those hate comments that make it blow up.
Fair enough. All right, I've gone for a bit more of a footy approach on 2 of my ideas. The first one is, obviously the sidemen are very good at doing expensive versus cheap. I thought, let's do elite versus shit. So
Maybe not shit. Can we use a different word?
elite versus below
Resi.
average.
Resi.
Oh, actually is Resi, so you make a
Okay.
good point. So training as an elite athlete for AFL, and training as a Resi for AFL. So we could either do it in groups or like singular people, follow around.
So you come to the first training of the year for Div 12 Resies when that kicks off, and you film. Say we're looking at minimum 8 minutes because that's a YouTube golden mark. 4 minutes at Div 12 Resies and 4 minutes at Collingwood,
Or
Richmond, one of the local clubs here.
Or you could go to a far country club and put a bit of exposure on a country club that we unfortunately couldn't play for because might have been too far from us. Other details that probably just didn't match up for us. And you go down and you train one night there and it might be muddy as hell.
True.
Raining.
Geelong West.
Yeah.
They actually don't have that bad of club rooms. But we
fair
find a
Our
club with
club
bad
rooms
club
have
rooms.
got very good facilities.
Yeah.
Back
No, you
home.
find a club with a dust bowl of an oval and a tin shed and do a training there.
What
and
about
then you
the
go
Tasmanian
train.
Oval that's gravel? That'd be cool to train at.
It would be, but I feel like they have good facilities too.
Oh, do they?
The
Cheap-
oval shit, but their
Chapels
facilities are
would
good.
do his PCL.
Yeah.
Good point.
He's
I'd graze my legs. Yeah, I mean, we've had some connections with some AFL clubs this year, and I've done a tour of the Hangar, and I've done a tour of Richmond, and seen the insides of these clubs, and it'd be very interesting doing
flash.
a bit like an Andy Munro, like, hey, we're warming up in the change rooms or getting strapped, and you're getting strapped by an 80-year-old man who has no idea what he's doing, versus you get a team full of 15 physios working on you to go out there.
Yeah, and then you've got like obviously your footage that you watch after the weekend.
Versus the guy with the whiteboard and the
Yeah.
texter that doesn't work, or even a chalkboard if you go into a country club.
Yeah. So I just had that thought.
Yeah, I don't mind it.
That's good. I like it. I had a cricket one. It was something we've done in short format, and that was facing the cricket ball at 160 kilometers per hour. We put it up. It was a video of Srey facing it. Got a lot of attention on Facebook.
Did say that. A
And
lot
I
of
feel
hate.
like YouTube audience can sometimes be a little bit older than TikTok audience. So it went well on Facebook, which made me think it might go well on YouTube. Was facing 160 kilometers an hour, but we get 5 or 6 of us in the nets, and you get maybe you do it in 2 ways. The first way I thought is you could get a defined amount of balls.
Get
So
to
it might
make
be
some
like we
runs.
face 100 balls or 50 balls or
Ooh.
20 balls, or we face an over of 160 kilometers per hour on the bowling machine. How many times can we hit the ball? Or how many times do we get out? Or
Yep.
And then you can have a challenge. You get points. If you hit the ball, you get a point. If you get out, you get a negative point. And we see who's got the most points at the end of it.
Yeah.
Like a bit of a scoring system.
Okay.
I like
Don't
it.
mind it.
Yeah, that was my idea.
Could
go
you,
down.
could you do like a run making thing and then
It's just hard in the
spam-
nets, isn't it? To
It's hard
pick how where the
to-
runs
it's-
went.
Oh, it's all
Well,
personal
if-
opinion there.
if you sort of like zone off certain parts of the net.
But then I feel like what happens if you play a cover drive, you inside edge it, and it goes into a zone that's worth more points, and then people in the comments be like, "This is fucking trash." Whereas, like, you know what I mean? Like if Srey just accidentally edges one into the hot zone,
I wouldn't do that.
but he would if it was to
wouldn't
ever
do
happen to be him,
Mm.
and then people would feel cheated because some bloke could smoke 6 balls in a row, and then Srey edges one into the run zone. So I think the zoning could be an issue. That's a hurdle. But I think the point system of like hitting it, getting out, missing it, work out a point system, and then tally them up, and you have a bit of competition between each other.
Yeah.
Jarra will just block them all, so he'll get 100
Yeah, no
points.
worries.
Mm.
Absolutely.
You might get bowled 6 times.
Maybe.
I'd like to say
Next idea, Jarra.
All right. I need you to answer, and I don't want any rambling. I
Okay.
just want a one-word
Look,
answer.
This is a long podcast already.
I'll give you a one-word answer. Which Olympic sport do you think, if you had a year to prepare for, you could genuinely compete in? You got-
Badminton.
all right.
Shot put.
Shot put. All right. So my idea is you go and try out a bunch of different Olympic sports right before the Olympics kicks off. And it's like, idiots try the Olympics. So like you go and run a 100-meter race, you shit at it. You go and try archery, all these random ass sports. And you end up,
Equestrian.
yeah, and because you got to think, people are going to be looking up Olympic highlights on YouTube pretty much every day because a lot of people work throughout the day when all the Olympic events are on. You might catch a bit of SEO in
Is
there,
chess
and
in
you
the
might be at the
Olympics?
top there, and you might get a few
Unfortunately
views
not.
around the world.
Breakdancing is though, so
Yeah,
Oh, I
Checkers
could
does
hit that.
breakdancing.
I could hit that for sure.
breakdancing.
I don't mind it. It would
Yeah.
become a series. Or it would be one video.
I reckon you could do 3 or 4 different videos.
It feels like a short format series, but in a long format.
You
do
could
you reckon?
I
almost
reckon
do
you
like
could
an
do, like-
hour video of it, and it's just
Nah.
showing like.
I
I
reckon
think
you
it
could do
loses
like a-
attention if it's.
I reckon you could do like track session one, random sports like the most random sports you can think of.
Did you ever watch Rexona's Greatest Athlete
Yeah.
back in the day? Rexona's Greatest
I've
Athlete.
heard.
Oh, yeah.
I've heard
Yeah.
Of the
So it was
thing,
like they
yeah.
picked athletes from every different sport. So it was like car racing, cricket, footy, rugby, and then they got them to do all these challenges throughout the
Yeah.
day. And most of the challenges related to a different sport. So maybe they're doing an agility test, which would relate to the car racing drivers, and then maybe they're doing a tough challenge, which the NRL players should have done good in. And then they did like a speed test, which
Yeah.
the sprinters did good in. But it's a bit like that, where we pick all these footballers up and we take and we see what they adapt to the best in terms of
Yeah.
Olympic sports or other sports.
Yeah.
I like it.
Tom Mitchell.
He'd be a good equestrian rider.
What's your love for the horses, man?
I love equestrian.
See, that's
he-
sports
yeah.
bet.
He loves
No,
Shark Tin
I
on a
actually do
Sunday
not
night.
gamble anymore, guys. Don't gamble, please.
All right. My second one, again, an AFL video. I find this to be an exciting new development, but I've never really watched the TV show. The Amazing Race, AFL edition. Split up into teams. You must.
I don't want to be on
travel-
Jarra's team.
Okay, we'll pencil that
Okay,
in.
there's a reason why this podcast is so long. It's because we've got producer Srey behind the desk.
Sorry.
Keeps talking about horse racing and hating on Jarra.
So basically,
Sorry, guys.
teams, they go around to different AFL clubs around Melbourne. So obviously one's Olympic Park. You've got Glen Waverley for Hawks, Arden Street, Moorabbin,
Punt Road.
Punt
Yeah.
Road.
Yeah. Got him.
You could, so in teams, you go around and there's different challenges that you have to do at certain grounds. There could be relating with an AFL player that's done something like memorable there. And then getting there, there's 2 different types of way you get there. And it just shows a bit of like difference and diversity of like traveling to the grounds. And then you could introduce AFL players and past AFL players to like introduce the clues. So maybe buying cameo, or maybe not buying cameos, maybe just asking them to film videos of them reading the clues and everything. And then this can all be like filmed and everything between there. And then the first team to meet back at the G with all their challenges completed is the winner.
Don't mind it. It's good. Amazing Race is something that you can adapt to a lot of things. I haven't seen it adapted to AFL yet, so it could be interesting.
Fair bit of editing in that.
A lot of editing. I'm thinking a lot of camera crews. That could be hurdles.
I'd pay an editor.
Yeah, it's a lot of hurdles to get that all pieced together nicely.
We'll take it out of the Marmalade Business Council.
Yeah, would be a good video, but in terms of like the revenue it gets back, will it match up with?
Sometimes you gotta invest.
True. It'll also be a hard video to short format down. Because you sort of want to have the whole story.
You can do in certain parts.
It's interesting.
And keep it as a series. Bang.
I like it.
All right, Checkers, you're up.
Okay. 24-hour challenge.
At the MCG.
Long pause. 24 hours out of the footy oval. How many goals can you kick? With this, you run the live stream on YouTube, okay?
Yeah.
People obviously can't watch 24 hours of this, but the 2 days after, 3 days after, you upload the 15-minute version condensed with the highlights of the 24-hour challenge. Maybe you commentating over the top, the key highlights, how many goals you kicked, get some predictions beforehand of how many goals people think you can kick. Done the math. I don't know how many goals you reckon you can kick in a minute.
Oh, the way.
Yeah, but you're not going 24 hours straight. And what are the rules? Do you have to go collect your ball after every kick?
This is like the pre-game would be the discussion with a few people, some advice, and then you could do there'd be hurdles along the way, like cramping, needing to break for food, needing to break to go to the toilet. The live stream would attract your audience already. Okay, so you're going 24 hours live. That's going to automatically bring an audience in. They're going to watch the follow-up video of how it was all
Mr.
put
B
together.
style, kicking footies for 24 hours.
Yes, that would be the key line. Kicking goals for 24 hours. But yeah, it'd be a bit of pain for the body.
Yeah.
But I think you could run a live stream out of it to attract a viewer base for your video when it goes up.
Yeah. Don't mind it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
24 hours of kicking goals at Vic Park.
I'd kick
Love
one
it.
still.
Love it.
By the way, I was kicking yesterday. I'd probably kick like 20 in 24 hours.
Were you at Vic Park for 24 hours?
Doesn't say a lot about
No.
our chances.
Yeah.
No, but then it'd be funny.
Forward.
Like imagine the live stream with the tracker. You'd have someone sitting there pressing a tracker, just goal, point, goal, point.
Dib's not.
Yeah, show not.
Oh,
That sounds like a Producer Srey job.
Stray's issue.
Would you be a gun after 24 hours of goal kicking? Like then maybe you need a few days rest.
Yeah.
But like a
More
week
than
later,
days.
would your goal kicking significantly improve?
Probably. You'd figure out the knack of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd figure out a way to kick it nice.
You'd hope so after 24 hours.
No, I don't mind it.
Yeah.
Don't mind it. All right, last one. And I've said this before. I've said this a few times, and I still think it is one of the best videos, one of the funniest videos, but also really good for us because it is exactly train how you play. You got to think, biggest game is 12 Ressies. You're having chocolate milk at halftime. You're having chocolate milk throughout the game. Stray's having CC cans before the
not
game.
Me. Not me.
During the game.
I don't drink.
So we need to learn how to play and how to move with chocolate milk sloshing around. So it is the American beer mile with chocolate milk. And I'll tell you why this is so good. Because the American beer mile is a massive event every single year.
Yeah.
And it gets millions and millions and millions of views. You mix that with your chocolate milk mania.
Haha, funny.
Haha, funny. And you get really good short format clips.
And you get 5,000 posts in the Footy Stand Facebook group.
Of Srey running and throwing up.
Good.
And
we
you have
get a
Will
TikTok
walking
strike
for 25
and a
minutes.
YouTube strike.
And you have 25 minutes of Will walking. But I reckon Checkers could do it with one PCL in about 15 minutes.
I reckon I could.
It's 1,600 metres. In 15 minutes, 4 cartons of chocolate milk.
4 cartons of chocolate milk's piss.
Exactly.
Piss easy.
That's what I'm saying. Train how you play.
See,
I like that.
Back in the day, we used to do the mile run for like fitness testing, and I used to do that in like, 7 minutes? Just under when I was fit-ish. So doing it with like chocolate milk, like
No need to lie to the audience, Will.
I'm not.
He's lying. There's no way this man ever ran the mile in 7 minutes.
A
or
7 minute
under.
mile is like really impressive, is it not?
No,
It's all right.
a good mile.
It'd be about an 8-minute 2K. It'd be about an 8:10, 8:15 2K.
1.6 kilometers.
Are you running a K in 4 minutes, Will?
No, our school record was 5 minutes 15,
Yeah, the miles.
and then it was knocked.
And he went to
off.
school with Sam Walsh.
Sam Walsh did have 5:15, but then some kid came and beat him, and it was 5.
See, how fast do you reckon we could do it? I reckon realistically, if we got the whole or like 6 or 7 Div 12 Ressies players, I reckon one of us would do it in sub 9 minutes.
I like the idea, but I stress about the idea of someone vomiting and getting striked on YouTube.
Just blur it.
The blur usually works.
You can blur, but it's just like it's the impact. Is everyone's waiting for the vomit, but then they're going to be upset when you don't show the vomit. But then if you show the vomit, you get striked. So it's like
It's risky. I reckon you take the strike.
there is some risk in that.
But you can't take the strike, then you make no money.
Stiff. You don't make them money anyway.
Okay, Will. Last idea.
All right. So obviously we've got in the in the sports industry, we've got some good friends that are players. Cricket, we've pretty good mates with a few of them. AFL mates with a lot of them. I want to face against the elite. I want to face up against the likes of maybe Sam Elliott with the ball. For those who don't know, Melbourne Stars Victorian cricketer, Sam Elliott. And then I want to bowl to one of the elites. So like Tom Rogers, who opens the batting for the Melbourne Stars. And like we could not test our abilities, because obviously we're pretty shit, but like show the comparison between the two a little bit more, because I feel like that's something we haven't sort of tapped into a bit as of yet.
Yeah, I like it. It's like the good versus the training with the AFL club versus training at the Ressies or whatever that we had before.
Had a
It's
lot
very-
of that on my mind.
It's very similar to that. It'll be dependent on the names you get, and I know that we have good mates that play, but
The big names that you get.
and this is no offense to Sam Elliott. I'd fucking love to face Sam Elliott in the nets. Okay, but will an audience internationally want to see that as such, or
And-
an audience in
yeah.
Melbourne? Yes.
And then
But
you
you're
run
limiting
in-
your audience a little bit is sometimes
Yeah.
unless you have like Nathan Lyon or
which is tough because they've
it's
got contracts.
Very tough, very big.
Okay.
It'd be a lot of fun.
Okay, we get David Warner in the off season.
Yeah, that video would slap internationally.
Yeah.
You'd get a lot of views on it. But I just worry that you would need a massive player to get it done, and that player is going to be your hurdle to get the massive player.
The power of social media, man.
Yeah,
We can
if
make
you can
it
get a
happen.
massive player, I'm all in. But I'm all in for Sam Elliott too. But I think an audience would be all in, and like you're talking about overseas markets and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, like it. All right, checkers.
Last idea, 7-day challenge this time. It was 24-hour challenge last time. 7 days.
Let's get longer.
Srey
Okay.
is broke, okay? We went to the cafe today. He couldn't
Oh, is
afford
this
a
the-
large coffee.
Okay.
No, I just wanted a small one.
You
but
couldn't
I
afford a toasty.
Oh, yeah, I couldn't afford a toasty, no.
Will can't afford to pay his parking tickets so much that it's now doubled in price. Okay?
I used
Two
to
broke
know
men
that too.
here in the room.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yep.
Yeah.
7 days. Everyone gets a $50 note at the start of the 7 days. And we're 4 people, us 4 into the challenge, okay?
Yep.
$50 each. Who can turn that into the most amount of money by the end of the
Well,
week?
I like that a
Not
lot.
by gambling. You can do it however you want. But you could go air tasker. You could go pick up a part-time job. You could go busk.
Shark
you could
Tank.
use that $50 to go buy a guitar to busk. You could go to the thrift shop and buy shit and flip it. But we follow each person's journey. And then at the end of the week, we see who's got the most money.
Do you think we'd have to be separated for a week? We'd have to sleep in
No, I
different
feel like you
houses
just
and
have
stuff
to
like
not tell
I
each other
just
what you're
wouldn't-
doing.
I just wouldn't give you my ideas.
that? Your idea's suck anyway.
But you
so
might
it's
be able to
fine.
go restore something. You go with your $50, go buy a piece of furniture, restore it. A cricket bat.
Are we
For
saying
$5
that you
bucks, restore it,
can't?
sell it for $150, and then
Are we saying that you can't use anything that you've already got? Because
only that $50 note at the start of the week.
what about like
you can't just go.
what about like contacts and
I've got
connections?
my savings account, because that's just cheap.
You can't just be like, I've got these nice pair of shoes. I'll sell these. That
Yeah,
doesn't
you can't be like, hey, mum, can I have money?
Could I log in to LinkedIn and say, "Hey, I'm opening myself up for consulting," and then
Go your hardest. That's a job.
Does that
Yeah.
You
work?
can do
Oh,
air
so-
tasking for the week. You have $50 budget to spend. Okay, so that's for expenses. Maybe you
buying
need to
2
go and do
toasties.
some busking. Maybe you want to go flip some stuff. But I feel like that idea of people are always looking on the internet, how can I make money quick?
and we actually try.
People
it
need
out.
to pay rent. Haven't got a job. they search how can you make lots of money in
How
24
do you make
hours.
cash fast?
Have you ever Google searched that? It's pretty fucking interesting. 24 hours of or 7 days. How can I make $1,000 in 7 days? Is like one of the most Google search things.
All right, let's do it.
So I feel
I like
like
it a lot.
I feel
I'm
like
for it.
if we all
That was
sat-
your last idea.
yeah.
It's your best one.
Well, yeah, I just thought it'd be a cool piece. And then each day, you probably don't spend the whole day making money because it's just not viable. We have shit to do. We have to record the podcast. But like, you know, like, oh, I've got Monday, I'm going to go to the op shop, I'm going to buy a heap of shit, and I'm going to list it all up on Gumtree with my $50. Tuesday, I'm going to take all the money I sold from that shit, I'm going to go do some air tasking. Wednesday, and it's like a collaborative piece. You spend a couple hours a day, you film it all on a GoPro, and we bring it all back together and we edit it up.
I like it a lot. I really like it.
All right, Trey, you haven't been listening to all the ideas.
Yes.
It's now up to you to pick your favourite idea for us to go and film.
Wow, it's tough.
There's 9 ideas on the table.
I think.
Remembering you're giving the audience the other 8.
Yeah. No, I'm not copyrighted them all already. Bad luck, guys.
I trademarked
I
mine.
like.
He Srey marked him.
Yep. I like your idea the most, but I think Jarra's chocolate milk idea is the best. I don't know if we can do it, so I'd like to have that one as a second one.
The chocolate milk mile.
I like that. I think that we, as if we say there's 4 of us, a couple more of our other mates, that'll be hilarious.
It's only
I might
us
have-
4.
It'd be us 4. I think we can still be
I
funny.
still think as a launch for
But-
D12 Ressies, that's a good preseason training video.
I like it, but I do worry about the strikes. You're right, 100%. It's a bit gory. Not gory, but it's a bit. What's the word I'm looking for here? It's a bit.
Unwell to watch.
Yeah, yeah.
Too
So
much.
it's a bit too much. Check his idea of the. It's sort of like an Amazing Race style, like Will said, but it's a bit different. I like it a lot. That'd be my favourite one, I think.
So which one are we doing?
I'll leave it to yours.
So in the next week, we're going to make the $50 budget challenge. And
Okay.
we're all going to make lots of cash.
Or we
We're gonna
won't.
be
That's
rich.
the thing.
Yeah, what happens?
Are you giving everyone the $50
Yeah.
out of the
Or
business
are you
account?
YouTube
Or
revenue.
are you getting a spono for the?
Yeah,
No,
I
it's
don't.
alright.
I don't have $50 right now.
All right, well, you're going to make it turn into money.
Why
Okay,
don't I have
have you ever seen that
$50?
TV show where
Who dares wins?
they go out thrift shopping and antique shopping? I think it's like related to Antiques Roadshow, and they go buy a heap of shit
Porn
from the
stars?
And they
antique shop,
resell it.
and then they resell it at auction. And they're always looking for it's just like an English show. It's an older show. It'd be like Antiques Roadshow. They buy like old cutlery and old plates, and then they take them to auction, and then whoever makes the most money gets to keep it.
All right.
Same as a block. They get given a house,
Block of
a
land.
block of land to make into a house,
All right.
Block.
and whoever sells the most wins.
I love it.
Yeah,
Sounds
it's,
good.
it's that
Buy a
premise.
house.
It's the block, but for making cash.
Love it.
I like it a lot.
I've given you some ideas already. Air task, a Gumtree, flipping, but yeah, let's go film that in the next week. Sweet. That's how we do it. That's how we come up with videos. Sometimes we're at the coffee shop and we're eating toasties, and sometimes it's not quite 9 ideas. That seemed went a lot longer than I thought it would. Maybe I could have cut it down a little bit, but yeah, that's how YouTube videos are made. Bring some ideas to the
Mhm.
table with your mates
Mhm.
and see how we bounced off of each other a bit. Sometimes with maybe some stuff isn't viable, or we added some thoughts as well. So there's a couple of times where Will was saying, Jarra, we could also do this.
Mm. I like it.
I like it a
Yeah.
lot.
And then the ideas get bigger.
All right.
Trey is sweating.
It's
We're
so
going
hot
into
here, by the
some-
way, guys.
It's
You guys
not
have
that
the
hot.
fan on you. I don't have the fan on me.
Ah.
We're going into some fan questions.
Yeah.
Fan
You
questions.
don't have a fan on you. if you
Nah, it's alright, man.
Speaking of fans, fan questions
Fan
from the
questions.
Instagram. Put up some stickers on the Instagram story asking for what people want to know about content. First one, multiple people sent this in. I think about 8 people sent it in total, so I haven't put their username in, but multiple people asked, will you travel to different states in 2024? Maybe do some content in New South Wales, Queensland, or WA.
Well,
Jay Viney, don't think it's Jack Viney, but Jay Viney also asked attached, what is with Checkers' hatred for WA?
Do you want to touch on that first?
do you hate WA?
I think I said it on a previous podcast that WA sucks because it's so far away.
Mm.
It's like
Yeah,
It's a
you
long
said that on
flight.
the Cunt Besties one.
Yeah,
it's
it's
pretty
so far away, man.
Yeah,
I
it's
just
right.
spent an hour and a half on the plane from Adelaide with my knees cramped up against the seat. Imagine if I cop 2 fatties next to me and I'm in the middle seat going to WA for 6 hours.
If
what
we
it
get you a
is.
business class, we go to WA.
I'll go there.
Okay.
Not when I'm sitting on a
Alright.
Jetstar flight in
If-
row 27 or
Good
something.
point.
If we put extra leg room for you, like you're in the exit row.
Yeah. Yeah, I need some leg room.
Yeah.
But yeah, will we go to different states?
I think so.
We
Well,
went this
I'd love
year. We went to Queensland
City
and
Queensland,
we
that was really
went
fun.
to Vic. We did one day in New South Wales, but we weren't really there for any.
Well, round zero. Obviously,
Round 0 would be
New South
cool.
Wales.
New South Wales, Queensland. I
That'd
think we
be-
got to get to WA. We went to Tassie, but we haven't really travelled anywhere. Like when you think about travel, we've just been doing Adelaide, Melbourne.
Yeah.
we should go
Rinse
see the
and repeat.
Quackers.
At Rottnest Island.
Yeah, in
Yeah, I'd
WA.
go around that.
Give them
Yeah.
a footy.
We're going to Darwin, which that's the NT.
Yeah, that'll
we
be
won't
fun.
see much of other than footy based. We're just going to see footy. We're not going to travel as much as such. WA. How can we get to WA and what can we do in WA?
See the Quackers.
See the Quackers. We can
It's very hot in WA, Shrey. You're going to
Go
be
see
sweating.
Harley
Yeah,
Reid.
I
we
know,
can
right?
play golf.
Go and watch
could-
Harley Reid's debut.
Jamo
That'd
was
be
telling
cool.
me there's good golf courses in WA.
I don't want to play golf.
We could. You don't have to play golf.
We
You
could-
can go watch West Coast versus North
We
Melbourne.
could drop Srey off
4:40
in the
on
mines. He could be a
Sunday.
FIFO worker.
Oh, that could be. Maybe I get a FIFO job for the week.
Makes
Yeah,
some
man.
cash.
That's a good idea.
Yes,
Um,
yes. To answer the question, we will try to get across WA at
Alright,
some point.
I'll
Let's make that a
ask-
challenge this year. WA.
All right, I'll ask this one because it's more pointed towards you, I think, because you are sort of the proxy head of this.
The proxy head.
Noah Rennie has said, "Will we see another biggest Div 12 game in 2024?"
We have been discussing it. I can't give much away because we haven't even announced a team yet, and it's a planning stages, and you don't want to announce before you're ready to announce. But there was a tagline of an even bigger game of Div 12 Ressies 2024. Because the last tagline was the biggest game of
Yeah.
Div, so we're going to go even bigger.
Even bigger.
It's like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. What was the next one? There was Honey, I Shrunk the Wild. I don't know. There's all these different taglines. They're all basically the same, those movies.
It's like Sharknado.
Yeah,
then
Sharknado.
Sharknado 2, the second one.
Piranha
Yeah.
and then Piranha Double D.
Shrek 1, Shrek 2, Shrek 3. D.
For the
Shrek's
musical.
the third.
Yeah, so maybe we'll do this game in 3D. No, that's next year's game in 3D. But yeah, we will do a bigger game.
AR.
We're doing it. It's in the works. It's getting planned. It's happening. Stay tuned. It won't get announced for a bit, but it is getting in the planning stages right now.
Love it.
Beautiful. All right, a massive fan of the pod, Zay Bernal.
Yeah.
We have talked about going interstate, but Zay asks, will you ever cover international sports such as American football?
Jarra,
Jarra's a
This is you.
big American football man, and
I
he
am.
covered it last year a bit as well.
you covered it this morning.
I did
Yeah,
cover it.
you
I
covered it.
do. I cover
Hey,
it every
job.
morning. You can watch it 7 mate live Monday mornings.
Hold on, we're gonna get any cash
11:30.
for that plug. Hold on a
Yeah.
second, mate. Just relax,
Actually,
mate.
actually, next week we're on at 3:30 in the afternoon. So
Unless you're going to give us cash for this. Like,
So you can watch the show. It's called Armchair Experts. It's great, and we cover American sports. But yeah, I think we should cover American sports, and I think that's more what I'll try and do through my Instagram stuff. Different sort of sports, including American football, maybe some baseball.
the
a lot of-
NBA would be good.
yeah, a lot of basketball
Love
stuff. I
the
used to
NBA.
play
The problem I
basketball.
find with these, I put it up on LinkedIn, is this year unplanned. We did a lot of sports that weren't footy and cricket. So we did like car racing, we did
Hockey.
rugby, we did hockey, we did the boxing,
tennis?
tennis. They're sick, they're cool, they're fun, great experience for me. But do you ever struggle sometimes when you do these sports? And I know you're someone who's done a lot of sports. Jared did a series where he was trying different sports. Do you ever do them and then think, I know absolutely nothing about this and I feel like a flog covering sports that I don't know about?
I don't. Yeah, well, see, I always go into it with a certain level of I've never played this sport competitively, so I'll try and not come off as like an authority about it.
Because like interviewing Tim Zoo about drinking
Yeah.
chalky milk, I felt like a fuckwit. Because
Yeah, but
this
but-
man's probably got people in the boxing industry that should be interviewing before me. Or
Yeah, but perhaps if you, instead of asking Tim Zoo about chalky milk, you went and took a boxing class where like you're portraying yourself as a novice and it's still funny. Something like that might be a little bit better.
There's been a
where-
couple of times we've had, even in the state of origin, because we don't get a lot of NRL press in Adelaide, is we've been interviewing these massive people in their such industry and I know nothing about them.
Yeah.
But if we were to interview massive people in the AFL industry, I mean, I'd be rock hard
Well,
penis. Just
But I feel like from those we learn. Like now,
we learn, but I
don't
feel
know.
like is it the like? Should I just stay in my lane?
No, well, I feel
Maybe.
like that's just a
It's
Yeah.
slow mindset.
it's
If I wanted to
conversation.
go interview Tim Zoo, I'd learn about him. But I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes we get pushed into these directions through other ways. You just
Yeah.
maybe seeking out content or getting asked to
Yeah.
go across and do stuff.
It's a good conversation.
Yeah,
Love
I've
it.
got no idea about most American sports, like the NBA, American footy. Like I've tried to get into the NBA, I've got no clue.
So if you ever did NBA content, it'd be because you're getting pushed, not because you'd want to as
Yeah.
such. But if you're doing cricket content, you will watch the cricket 27 hours a day.
yeah, I watch too much cricket.
All right. Next one. Memphis Christo has asked, and I'll go around the room. We'll go, Checkers, what is your favourite and least favourite content to make? One of each.
Least favourite is going to be a hard one. I'll start with that. And it is sometimes the fan TVs but not always. It can sometimes be the favourite. So I'm going to put this as favourite and least favourite. So it's favourite
Right.
when I know it's going to be a good game and I know it's going to be a good crowd. So like when Collingwood were playing Carlton, or I think there was a final Collingwood-Carlton this year?
Yeah. No.
Carlton-Sydney, when Carlton won the final against Sydney and they kicked that goal.
Yeah, wow.
I was buzzing outside the stadium. I was standing with the microphone like, this is going to be fucking sick. The Carlton crowd's going to be so up and about. I got the microphone. People are going to be buzzing. Everything's going to be so positive, all right? There's been other times where I've been standing outside stadiums waiting for people to come out of the stadium or like, you know, post-game. Collingwood lost a game.
Mm-hmm.
And I was sitting out there shitting myself thinking this could be... I could end up in hospital tonight.
Yeah,
Like,
this is
I
very
don't know.
day you get
dangerous.
punched.
But like,
Yeah.
it might sound like crazy me saying that. Like, it might send me like put a bit of mayo on it. But you can genuinely think that.
Yeah.
Like, you'd be outside a stadium and the first person that comes up to you says, "You're a fucking flog," and gives you a shove. And the next person that comes up to you is smoking a cigarette in your face.
Mm.
And the next person that comes up to you starts screaming in the microphone.
Yeah.
And you're like, why am I out here?
Yeah.
I don't want to be here.
Yeah.
And you feel really small. But then other times you have 300 fans jumping up and down. Collingwood fans next week when they win,
Yeah.
going nuts.
Yeah.
crazy.
And it can be
isn't it?
favourite. It can be, your heart would be racing and you're like, this is sick. So yeah, that would be my favourite and least favourite is maybe the adrenaline rush of that content piece.
Yep. What about you, Will? Favorite and least favorite?
I think I mentioned it before. Least favourite content is making stuff by myself. Like videos to camera without other people. I just feel like they're not a waste of time, but like I just feel like making content I can be a bit better and a bit more versatile making videos with other people. Favourite content to make is... Jeez, there's so many bloody good ones out there.
Plane content, I'd say, for you. I've seen how excited he gets before he gets on a plane.
Mm,
It's been a while. It's been a while since we've had the plane guy out.
Yeah.
But
Plain content.
I love Will's on the spot stuff where he thinks, let's just do this quickly.
Plain content was fun for the first two. Milking it out to 6 videos. I'll probably make another one. I'll make a comeback video. But it wasn't my favourite. Wasn't my favourite thing.
So what was your favorite? What is your favorite content to make?
cricket content. Where was a cricket knife?
Just collaborative stuff. I like it. I like the skits that we do together.
Okay.
You,
What
Jarra?
about you, Jarra?
My favorite stuff is any sort of like vlog style thing where it's like filmed throughout the day. It's like the cricket vlogs or the running stuff at the moment where it's like over like a longer period of time and you
And you
voice.
film 55 4-second clips throughout the day
Yeah,
that you then
and-
piece together into
Yeah,
a
and you
nice
put them
little
together
vlog.
and you make a little story and the voiceover, you tell the story and you can sort of make it appear how you want it to appear. And then I think the least favorite is I used to love skits, but I feel like every skit has been made. No matter what skit you think of, it's been made. The Joey Woodleys of the world, the Blake Pavies, they've made it. And
The
they've
Will
done
Taylors.
it and they've done it better than you.
point.
Sorry,
and
man. It's just what
whatever
I
you
do.
think is a good skit, it's been done before,
Very tough,
so
isn't
it
it?
becomes a little bit repetitive and a little bit
I
not
had
as
this
fun
skit.
to make.
Okay, I got this skit. We go to a cricket game. Could be anywhere. Could be any stadium. Go to a cricket game, right? We're just in the crowd and we're watching, and we're at this cricket game, and then everyone starts chanting "Skull, Skull, Skull," and I pull a cricket box out of my.
Shut the fuck up.
We can work on that, I reckon.
Shut up. Next question.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, Savannah, do you ever get bored of making content or videos?
I know Joe has.
Jarra's had
Thought
some
about
ups and downs. You wanted to give it
Yeah.
up for a little bit there, but now you've found a bit of passion again.
Yeah, I definitely get bored of making videos. It was really like 3-4 weeks ago. I was like, oh, this might be it, and it still might be. I've got to figure out uni and stuff like that. But yeah, you definitely get in waves of I hate making videos, and then I love making videos, and then
I get
sort of goes up
bored
and
at.
down.
Sometimes we go to events that go for a couple days.
Yeah.
A good example was the Clipsal we just went to recently with the Adelaide 500, and it's a 4-day event.
Good experience.
And I feel like we
Mm.
cashed out as such at a perfect time. So we went for 2 days.
Yep.
And we got all the content smashed out. But if we were there for 4 days, you do a shitload of content day 1, you do a shitload of content day 2, day 3, like you said before, you're milking it
Mm.
with that plain stuff. We're milking it by being at these events sometimes.
Yep.
The cricket is another good example. 5 days of cricket in Melbourne. We go to day 1, we have that two mega viral videos come out of day 1, come back day 2 and day 3, and everyone's like, do something funny again. Go do something funny again. I'm like, I honestly can't whack those ideas out every single day, 5 times a day.
Yeah.
Like,
So that's when I get
TV.
bored sometimes, is when we go to long format events, is I've learned to just get in, get out sometimes. Know that, 5 days of going to something is not going to be worth it, and I can get the same amount of content out of one day.
Know when to cut it loose.
Sometimes it's better to watch at home. Like, if you've done it, like, for example, the test, day 1, day 2, I feel like day 3, 4, like, it's just better to watch it at home.
Just know when to cash out.
Yeah, exactly right.
Don't gamble.
Never gamble. I think I'm a little bit similar to you, Check Man, in the fact that like you need to cash out at the right time. Like making videos where have like not a massive series, but I have a little series like for footy season, what your footy boot says about you, and then for cricket season, what your cricket bat says about you. I like making those because it gives everyone a little bit of
Relatable.
Yeah, relatable. It's a little bit funny. Like pokes a bit of fun at some bat brands and footy boot brands, and like I enjoy doing it. But there's only so many like brands and bats and stuff that you can go through, and like so many different things that you can say about them. So you need to know when to, cash out at the right time. But I don't get bored when like it's the collaborative stuff. I've said collaborative so
I said
many
before, like the clips from the cricket, I wouldn't get bored of day 3, day 4, and day 5. Happy to go to them, but it's like, do you ever get bored of making videos?
Yeah.
I've made all my videos already.
Yeah.
I don't need to keep flogging
A dead horse.
that dead horse and keep squeezing videos out. Clips will been there for 2 days, made shitloads of videos. I would have loved to stay and watch the racing on the Saturday, Sunday. That would have been fine, but I don't need to keep rethrashing the same video over and over. So
yeah, like Jarra and I don't need to go and make 500 scoots in one day. Like we can go make 2 and then just call it a day and do something else.
Yep. Like it.
Absolutely. All right, Aiden Potter, how do you come up with ideas for all your videos?
we discussed it a bit
We did
before about
discover
going
that.
to Jethro's. We're pretty lucky collaboratively. Notes section is something I know a lot of people use. I know Caden McDonald's a big notes man. He has the most extensive notes list on his iPhone.
Yeah, I've got a lot of... I don't like typing or jotting down things, but I found that notes is very handy to use.
You're already on your phone.
I've
simple
got
and
a
easy.
Word document that I started.
Jarra's a big Word
Yeah.
document. He
Very much
scripts a
on-
lot of videos in Word
Yeah.
documents.
I started a Word document in February, the 1st of February, and it's titled Content Ideas and Scripts, and it's currently at 68,000 words
Jesus.
so far.
So you just keep adding to that.
Yeah, and but also we live the life of it, don't we? It's like a lot of
Well,
the
it is our
ideas.
full-time job.
Yeah, a lot of
currently,
the
so
a lot of the ideas come from like just stuff that we're actually just like doing, and we just say, how can we take what we're doing every day and turn it into something funny? Like you might add a little bit of mayo onto our life, but it really is basically just what
Just
we
us.
do.
But then there's also the spontaneous videos that we make where like checkers might start pissing himself and be like, film me for 5 seconds, and then
Yeah.
it just turns it into something that might go viral and all of that. So yeah, there's a bit of
one thing I'll say for that is Jim, who isn't here, he's in Adelaide, but when we were living together, we used to have this saying, is sometimes you get writer's block, or they call it, and you might not have many ideas for a week. And if we ever had a time where we used to try film like a couple times a week, but if we ever had a time where we were a bit dry and we couldn't come up with any good ideas, is we'd go to an op shop.
And just walk around and
Well, the thing
Find
about an op shop
inspiration?
is everyone's discarded junk all in one place, and there's a bit of everything. There's a little bit of everything, and it can inspire your brain to start thinking creatively. You start seeing shit from your childhood. You start seeing all this vintage, nostalgic stuff. And it just used to re-jog the memory a bit. We'd go walk around and we'd see something. Maybe we'd see an old PlayStation game, video idea. We'd go see something that we used to use when we were 5 years old, video idea. So then, it was a way to re-spark. But sometimes, a lot of people might go watch other people's content to re-spark. But I found the op shop to be like a cool, unique way. We used to have them near our house. We'd roll in, do a lap of the op shop, and then be like, shit, all right, let's go make a video about this cooked thing we found there.
yeah, love it. All right. Ollie Connor, what is going to be the next Marmalade Challenge? You got Gill, you got Strawny, you got Alir. So what's next? You got the Fox Footy longest kick.
We did get the Fox for the longest kick.
You got Novak.
Got Novak. Got Marnus.
Mom was
You got-
good.
Siddle?
Got Siddle.
Got
Yeah.
Sidzy.
Don't miss that often. Haven't thought of one yet. It's hard because you want to get them bigger than the last one, but you also don't want to go too mainstream with them. They've been very unique, all the challenges. The Olympics is coming up. It could be a cool one. Trying to think what's coming up in Australia though.
Maybe like a Peter Bowl.
Yeah, Peter Bowl. Even though I know he lives near us, I've seen him.
Seen him multiple times.
I haven't seen him personally. I've just seen his Instagram stories at the same places we go.
I've never seen him.
I've seen him walking up and down.
I saw him the other day.
Yeah.
Day 3 of the running challenge, and I ran just straight past him. He was on his training route.
You know who I did
ran
see
straight past
recently
him.
though? This
It's
is
too
rare,
quick.
off topic, but at the Rising Sun Hotel, I saw Tony Abbott get out of his car
Yes, we
and
did.
go inside and come out. I was sitting.
Have a pint with
Jethro's.
Tony Abbott.
Well, just
That is really strange.
yeah,
And
I
it was-
forgot to tell you this, Shrey,
it
but
was
Tony
10 in
Abbott
the
went into your
morning.
pub.
It was 10 in the morning.
10 in the morning, pulled
Kid
up
you
in
not.
a Merc, pulled up out the front of the loading bay, went inside, came out 4 minutes later, got in his car and drove off.
I was talking to Caden and Checkers.
Yeah,
Maybe he put a
100%.
bet on. Maybe he went to put a bet on. That's what I
was. It
was
a
trying to.
Saturday?
Can't remember. We're at
No.
Jethro's.
Have a pint
Could be
with
any
Tony
day.
Abbott in Budgie Smugglers.
Oh no,
Probably
my
not.
rig's not.
Have
that
an
good.
onion with Tony Abbott. and
I don't know.
Budgie
It's coming.
Smugglers.
It's coming. I did have a rogue idea, and I'll say it in the pod because I don't think I'm going to go through with it. But it was 100 chocolate milks in 100 days.
That was yeah.
No, but
Yeah.
it wasn't just me drinking chocolate milk for 100 days because that happens anyways.
Yeah.
But it was me having 100 chocolate milks with 100 different people in 100 days.
Mm.
So each day, chocolate milk with someone. Maybe day 1, I'm having chocolate milk with Jarra. Maybe day 2, it's Will. Maybe day 3, it's Tony Abbott. Maybe day 4, it's Peter Bowl. Maybe day 5, I'm back in Adelaide for the week and I'm having it with Jim. You know,
and the
it's-
culmination at day 100 is with the godfather of milk, an actual cow.
Jonathan Brown.
Do cows drink milk?
But I thought it could build a good story. Like you can have a story. Each person you meet, we talk about podcasts. We have guests on all the time, but you have a milk with someone. You chat to them for 5 minutes,
Yeah.
learn stuff about them. You put it up in a video or a post. That was an idea I had.
Yeah, I don't mind that. That's pretty good.
Don't know if it's quite a campaign or challenge, but it's an idea I had.
Love it.
We'll come up with something soon. It's time for the world famous segment.
Internationally famous.
I don't know if we got the internationally revoked recently.
I don't know. I was in
Universally famous.
I was in Echuca and people have heard of Checkers Checkout, and that's basically international.
That's pretty much. If people in WA listen to this podcast, it's basically overseas as well.
Yeah.
Is you Chica in WA?
So no,
You Chica.
Echuca.
You Chuka?
Are you right?
No, I'm
Having a stroke on podcast. It's a chuka.
You Chica.
And I'm in WA because we've been talking with WA.
All right, internationally famous Checkers Checkout. Jarra, before this podcast, you're at our house whinging how you wanted to go get KFC.
Yep.
Correct?
As per
Tenders.
usual.
I'm hungry. You're hungry.
We still should go.
You're hungry, Will.
Yeah.
After this podcast, we're going to KFC. We're getting tenders. So, Checkers Checkout. Normally, I bring an item in. You eat it. Today, we're twisting it up. I had a dream the other night. You laugh. I had a dream the other night and I wrote in my phone my dream. I woke up at 3 a.m. It was hot. We don't have air conditioning in our bedrooms at home. It was steaming hot. I woke up. I wrote in my phone, Jake Fraser McGurk should be on the face of Wheat Bix. Stop laughing. I have brought in for Checkers Checkout.
No, you did not
The fucking Wheat Bix box has no one on the face of it.
turn it around.
There's no cricketers on Wheat Bix anymore. There's no cricketers on Wheat Bix anymore. Why is there no cricketers on the front of Wheat Bix? We went and watched 6 and Out play the other week, and Brett Lee is one of the main frontmen of their band. Used to be the front of Wheat Bix, okay? What was the slogan? Jarra, you growing up, what was Brett Lee's slogan as a Wheat Bix kid?
I was a Milo kid.
Shut the fuck up. What was Brett Lee's slogan as a Wheat Bix kid?
I don't know.
Will.
How many do you do?
How many do you do? Brett Lee used to do 12 Wheat Bix. His face used to be here on the front of Wheat Bix. Growing up, every Australian kid ate Wheat Bix, opened the Wheat Bix boxes, took out the Wheat Bix cricket cards, tried to eat 12 Wheat Bix, made themselves sick.
Okay.
Okay?
So you want Jake Fraser McGurk on there?
Right now, there's no cricketers on the front of the box. Test cricket is dying. Cricket as a whole, not very popular in Australia. We need to reignite Australian cricketers and their popularity in the public. Which cricketer do you think has that slogan of how many do you do? Come eat Wheat Bix. Come be an Australian kid. It's not. I know Marnus Labuschagne is sponsored by Wheat Bix right now, and he is on some of the boxes sometimes, or some of the adverts. But when Marnus says, I'm eating 12 Wheat Bix, how many do you do? I don't believe it.
Yeah, but Jake Fraser McGurk.
Jake
might
Fraser
give you that
McGurk
feeling.
hits big sixes. He hits the roof of Marvel regularly. He's stocky. He's built. He looks like a rock star. He's got the blonde mullet.
He's got that Aussie vibe about him.
He does. And if
Marnus looks like an accountant.
Jake Fraser McGurk said to me, I'm going to ask him this next time I see him at the cricket, but if he said, I eat 12 Weet-Bix, I'd believe it.
Okay.
I honestly would believe it. And that's why in my dream, I had this dream that I went to Coles and I was shopping for Weet-Bix, and instead of Josh Giddey on the boxes, it was Jake Fraser McGurk.
Yeah.
And I bought all the boxes and I brought them home in a trolley, and I woke up Will and said, we've got to start eating 12 Weet-Bix a day. And that was my dream.
Okay. Love it. So you're
So
saying...
I've brought this to the table for Checkers Checkout to ask you guys who you think would be on the face of the Weet-Bix box. Jake Fraser McGurk is my choice.
Does it have to be a cricketer?
Cricketer, Aussie cricketer. Used to be Brett Lee. Steve Smith was the face of Weet-Bix for a small period there, I think.
For a very small
Until
period.
the sandpaper incident. And they took it away, and then it's gone downhill ever since.
I'll go before Will, because Will's cricket knowledge is a lot better than mine. So he might have someone niche and cool. I'm going to go with the greatest player in my history, Brad Hogg.
But he's not current.
I don't care.
So you just want like 50-year-old Brad Hogg on the front of your Weet-Bix
Legends
box.
Edition Weet-Bix, Brad Hogg.
Do you think kids are going to want to buy Weet-Bix and eat 12?
I will. I don't care. I'll buy it. I don't even like Weet-Bix.
No one wants
It's the
that.
worst thing I've ever heard. That's the worst thing I've ever heard. Will, I'm backing you here to say a good name.
I was
There's
going
one
to say
right
Campbell
answer here.
Callaway, but
One
he
right
said I was
answer.
out, so I'm off him.
Campbell Kelly would have been an okay choice in
There's
maybe
one
2
right
years'
answer,
time.
Will. There's one right
I'm
answer.
going to rip him off my box.
Well, I can't take Checkmans, because when he said Jake Fraser McGurk should be on the Weet-Bix box, I thought, fuck, he's not wrong. There's no one that's like got as much swagger, as much like pizzazz as him
Hello.
in the Big Bash.
Jesus Christ.
You want to know what quickly? You want to know what Jarra said to me in the lounge room today?
Probably not.
If there was no courts, no bowls, and no runouts in cricket, I'd still be averaging 200. So
Well.
in a parallel universe where that happens,
Jarra Davis, you can be the face of Vitabrits.
wheat biscuits from Coles.
Home
Jody
brand.
version.
Jarra is on the box of wheat biscuits.
Like Mitchell Stark, pretty good face, bowls like pretty quick,
Yeah.
but like he's getting older. He's not bowling as quick as he used to. Pat Cummins, he's the captain. He doesn't play a lot of Big Bash. He just plays test matches. He's a little bit like vanilla these days, a little bit boring. I mean, trying to think in the middle order. Alex Carey, you barely see him out there at the crease. We could even go, like, we're going Aussie cricketers. We could even knock it down to domestic level. There's not really any standing out. Jake Fraser McGurk hit 100 off like 6 balls early this year in the Ryobi One Day Cup.
Oh, Jesus.
You know what? If Travis Head told me he ate
See,
12
Travis Head would be
Weet-Bix,
close. He'd be close.
If he told me he ate 12 Weet-Bix, I would say, I guarantee you
If
did.
it was Travis Head with silver sunnies on,
yeah.
then yeah, I'd believe it. If there was Travis Head on the front of the box, like partying after his World Cup, I'd believe it. If it was Glenn Maxwell, I'd believe it. I think Glenn Maxwell's
the answer.
he's on the way out.
What
Like
about
he's getting old. We want
Marcus
He's
Stoinis?
getting too old.
we want the face of Weet-Bix to be around for
No.
10 years. Brett
Marcus
Lee was the face of
Stoinis.
Weet-Bix.
I reckon Marcus Stoinis is very like lots of vitamins. It's
Marcus Stoinis is
Herbal.
32.
herbal stuff. It's lots
Alright,
of
so who is it, Will?
infusion.
It needs to be someone young. We want 10 years out of this person.
If it's not
Well-
McGurk, who is it?
Well, it's not. I was going to say Josh Brown because he's a big, burly fella.
He plays
who-
local cricket during the week.
Yeah, he does play local cricket, so that's probably where it falls off. You'd have to pick Jake Fraser McGurk. There's
So there it is. Weet-Bix, when you watch the Ressies podcast, get rid of Josh Giddey. No one's buying Weet-Bix at the moment, except me, to bring it into the studio. Put Jake Fraser McGurk's face just here. Put a heap of cricket cards inside the box, and you'll sell thousands of these things.
I also think Brett Lee lied because on the Weet-Bix stat attacks, which I've pulled up, and I might buy the stat attacks because it's $20.
I used to collect these. Stat
Hey.
attacks.
They're good.
He does 7. Number of Weet-Bix you eat for breakfast, he does 7.
Brad Hogg used to actually do a fair amount from memory. The
Yeah,
stat
see?
attacks used to be these cards they put in the Weet-Bix boxes, and it had like height, weight, games, wickets, whatever. How many Weet-Bix do you do?
Ricky Ponting and Andrew Simons both do more than Brett Lee.
They're lying.
Alright.
Hang on, I'll find out who does the most Weet-Bix.
Okay, we can
and
do that
then-
after the podcast.
And then we can do a
Alright.
TikTok.
After the podcast, we could do that.
Okay.
So you guys went back to Adelaide.
We did go back
You
to
guys went
Adelaide.
back to Adelaide, played a little bit of cricket, so you needed to fuel yourself up. You went back to the famous
Fulham Gardens
Fulham
Bakery.
Gardens Bakery.
It's this time of the
Yeah.
podcast.
Do we clap for it?
It's on the podcast.
Let's clap for it.
We've been doing bar me reviews, okay? We haven't done a lot because our
No.
podcast, we haven't done a lot of podcasts lately. It's been Christmas time. But we've been to Swan Street. We've been to GMHBA Stadium. GMHBA Stadium should be crossed off the list. That place sucked for banh mi's. For banh mi's, okay? For footy, it's okay. For banh mi's, shit. Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit for banh mi's. We went and did the best one you can get in Australia.
So good.
When we went back to Adelaide, the Fulham Gardens Bakery. There was one day living with Srey, I saw him go here 4 times, and this place is only open till 2 p.m.
Yeah.
Srey, yes, it might open at 6 a.m., but Srey doesn't get out of bed till the afternoon. So
Had a real crack
imagine
at
4 times in about 4 hours. He went here. He went and got banh mi. He came back. He went and got dim sims. He came back. He went and got chocolate donut and banana bread. Came back, and then he went back and got another banh mi to have for dinner. This place is the best in Australia.
It's
Fulham
the
Gardens
one.
Bakery. We've been here with you, Jarra. We've been here with Will. We went here on the weekend with Jim and Will. Geordie's sweet. We bumped into him in Adelaide, okay? We bumped into him running laps for his pre-season, and he told us he even has been going there since moving back to Adelaide to play for Port Adelaide. I've been in lineup at Fulham Gardens Bakery with Brett Burton, Marty Matner, and Rhett Biglands in line in front of me. It is a hotspot for celebrities. They talk about Electric being a famous nightclub for celebrities in Australia. They talk about the Moseley in Glenelg being a hotspot to seeing A-list stars. You know, see real A-listers go to Fulham Gardens Bakery.
I'm there.
Fulham Gardens is when we go to Adelaide, there's not many things other than like the content that I want to do. There's one place that we have to go, and it's Fulham Gardens Bakery. Now, I was hooked the first time. In Gather Round. So
The bread rolls are extra crunchy.
they're delicious.
So crunchy. There's so much dust all over the table when you're done. We did film a little TikTok. It'll be up on the Ressies of the amount of dust that was on the table. Yeah, we did film a little TikTok of the amount of dust that is on the table. And look, roast pork is my go-to. I normally go roast pork. I know Jim's a bit of a combo man. Srey, what do you normally
Big
go?
combo, man.
Combo as well. Chocolate donut slaps.
Class.
Sometimes banana bread slaps. But my normal order, all right, roast pork, chocolate donut, 3 steamed dim sims,
Yep.
and a feel-good iced coffee from the fridge.
Those live with the chocolate brownies.
Chocolate brownies are good, but I don't get them with the banh mi because it's just a
Dry.
bit. The combination is a bit
The
messed.
dim sims are delicious. So delicious.
So
Fun
good.
fact: Fulham Gardens Bakery has actually been around a very long time, and I've been living in Fulham Gardens a very long time. I once played a music festival in Adelaide, 2014. Okay, New Year's Day. It was called Play New Year's Day. I played a music festival, same stage as Tiger Lily, Tommy Trash, a couple other big names, okay? I was a big name back in the day. No, I wasn't, really not. I was the first act of the day, but I was on this poster for a music festival.
Snooze fest.
Big music festival in Adelaide. Fulham Gardens Bakery had the poster of the music festival in their window for a good 6 months. And because they're a Vietnamese bakery, they don't know much about the music festival scene. They just forgot to take it down. It was in there for like a long time after. It was like middle of the year. It was still up there and my name was on the wall. So that's why I kept going there, and I've been going there ever since.
That's wholesome. I
That's
like
very
that.
wholesome.
That's wholesome.
They're good as well. So
Yeah, and there's the cheapest chips next door.
and then the
Don't really know
supermarket
much
across
about
the
it, but
road.
yeah, and then there's Drake Supermarket across the road. So bit of variety in there. Chicken Cave, you can get a bit of variety if
Chicken
you.
good.
Yeah, that's it. That's it for our bakery review.
Absolutely, it's done, dusted.
All right, for those that have listened at this far, we have chatted about a lot of content ideas, a lot of platforms that you can use in 2024. Some of the planning we've done. If you have listened this far, it has been a long pod. Please feel free to reach out. Send us a DM. Send us a voicemail. Would be fun. I'd love to listen to some voicemails because the fun thing with voicemails is this is a podcast, so we can play them back on the pod.
Yes.
If you want to roast us on a voicemail, we don't get them very often.
Yeah.
No.
Or give us some ideas.
Someone had the idea the other day. They wanted callings. Like we call someone.
That'd be cool.
At 7 p.m. on a Friday.
But-
On a Monday.
But
Don't
feel free
jar.
to flick us advice. This is our 22nd podcast we've done. We've been doing them weekly, but we've been smacking a few out in a week sometimes. So we haven't been doing it for less than 20 weeks. It's still early days in the podcast game, so feel free to always hit us up with advice, what you want to hear, because we will listen to it and we will adjust our podcast game. Before we sign off this week's episode, run predictions for the 9th grade cricket this week. First game back. Jarry, you played thirds last week. Still hating you for it, but how many runs do you think you're going to make?
When you get dropped,
Just a number. We don't need to hear your whole life story.
13.
I don't mind it. Will?
I don't know if I'll get it
Psych!
back.
I'm making 50, not out. Retiring. Yeah, had to get that one in. You guys thought I was being humble. No. 50 coming up with the Kookaburra. Thank you very much. Raise the bat. Thank you.
That's horrible.
Alright, the kids are crying.
Can't wait to
now.
clip that up when he makes a duck.
Yeah.
That was my plan, actually, all
I
along.
like
I just
that.
wanted someone to say they were going to make runs and then get a duck.
Jeez.
I don't think I'll get a bat, unfortunately. But even though my last score was big and not out, I still don't think I'll get a bat.
I've got some fresh sticks to use, and they're actual cricket bats this time. They're not kids' bats or things that should be used for firewood. So I'm going to say 40.
You're due
like
a
it.
50, man.
I'm
You
due
are
a 50, but I'm going to get a bit... I get a bit ridiculous when I'm getting
Yep.
the 30s and
The
start playing
shakies.
reverse sweeps
Yeah.
and ramp shots and stuff, so I might get out. Trey,
I think a humble 20. I think I'll come in towards the end of the innings and I'll hit a few big ones.
all right, sweet. Willie, you've been signing us off lately. Go your hardest.
On a soft wheel. Do it
All
right.
right, boys and girls, thank you for listening to the Ressies podcast once again. If you have been watching on the vodcast, please make sure to like, subscribe, share to your friends. If you're listening on Spotify or wherever you get your podcast,
Then go listen on YouTube.
go
Wow.
ahead. What?
I want to build the YouTube followers up, man. We've been talking about it all pod, how
That's a
good
good point.
YouTube is.
Good point.
If you just want to stay on the Spotify one, if you're driving in your car, you can't get on YouTube. So just rate us 5 stars when you get out of your car. Follow us.
Or just take the back streets. There's only one cop in
No,
town. You
don't,
can
guys, don't
watch
drive and go on your
YouTube
phone.
while
Be
driving.
sensible, guys. Love yous.